are live
Okay.
for 4 seconds. Recording is going to.
All right. You're listening to the Substation Gaming Podcast. I'm Black Chestnut. With me, I have Lucas
Hello.
and Ricola.
Hi.
Today, we're going to be talking about the Indie World presentation that happened last week, along with some rumors and some other stuff as well. So, we can start it off with the Indie World.
Yep.
Sweet.
Before we actually get into any of the games shown off, I kind of wanted to talk about the presentation as a whole, how we felt about it.
Good.
Yeah.
As well as like a standard direct.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job. Like it's hard getting people like hyped up for indie games a lot of the time.
Yeah,
Because
that's
like,
true.
they're usually unknown developers. The games are usually kind of either low key or built more on gameplay, so it's kind but this was good. It had like some pretty good hard hitting announcements along with, lots of little stuff. It was just
I
good.
like the fact that it was just
Looked.
game after game after game. There wasn't a bunch of like random stuff in between. Because I just,
Yeah, there was no filler.
yeah, I just liked that it was just back to back. And then they had that little filler, but it was part of the game. Like they said some stuff and talked about
Yeah,
the
there
game a
wasn't
little
any
bit.
nonsense.
Yeah. There wasn't any filler. It was just them, showing the games and then talking about the games, and that felt really good.
Yeah, it was nice. Short and
Overall,
sweet.
this was like one of the best indie worlds we've had. I'd say top 3, probably at least.
Yeah, there was a
I
lot
can't
of
even name
good.
the other ones off the top of my head. So
I know there was that one where we got like, I'm trying to remember what was. It was like, it was that Zelda game. It was the Zelda.
the Cryptid and Necrodancer
Yeah,
DLC.
yeah. There was like one indie world where we got that, and so that was really cool. That one, but
This one was definitely really solid. Yeah.
this one was really good. They started off really strong. They ended it really strong. And the only thing else I have to say before you actually go into the games themselves, is that this is the case for like every indie world. But every time there's like an indie world announcement, Silk Song trends on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And everybody always gets their hopes up. I think at this point, most people know, it's like, it's not going to actually happen.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of just want to, be here and say, hey guys, Silk Song is too big for an indie world presentation. It's like the next time we see Silk Song, it's gonna be in a real Nintendo Direct,
Yeah. Most likely.
It's like, like why would they show off Silk Song at an indie world as opposed to like showing it off in like a real Nintendo Direct, which is gonna have way more viewers always.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like Silk Song is like really really big. I really want to preface that to like remind people compared to like all the other indie games. Silk Song is the third most wishlisted game on Steam right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It's like in terms of like the overall gaming sphere, I feel like the most hyped releases really are just like Elden Ring, Silk Song, Breath of the Wild 2, of course. And of course there's like others, like the new Halo game and Splatoon 3 and the new God of War. But
Yeah.
like, Silk Song is right up there with all those other games.
Exactly.
So, yeah. It's a little too high profile at this point
For indie title.
for the indie world,
Yeah.
It's still an indie
you're
title,
right.
of course, but
I mean, but the fans can
it's one
still
of the
dream,
big
can't they?
boys indie title. It's like when we got Undertale announced to coming to the Switch, it wasn't in an indie world. That was in a mainline Nintendo Direct.
Exactly. Yeah.
The Undertale, I think, is on a whole other level. Like Undertale's.
Yeah,
Like-
arguably it is. It's on a whole other level, but it's like I don't know. I'd say like Hollow Knight and Undertale are close enough that you can say they're in the same league.
But
um,
anyway, you want to just get into the indie world?
Yeah, let's get into the actual games.
All right. What do we got first?
The first game they showed off was Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. So they were starting off with a bang.
It's Jet Set Radio,
Pretty
but
much.
with some interesting differences.
Yeah. So, for anyone who doesn't know about this game, this is being developed by the Lethal League Blaze devs. Um, so all their stuff always has like a Jet Set Radio style very much to it, and so now they're basically just making their own Jet Set Radio game.
Pretty much.
You know,
Yeah.
I never played this game, but back when we first talked about this, I can't remember which podcast it was,
I
but
think it was number 3
but
we first talked about it.
I remember watching some gameplay of this before doing the actual podcast, and it looks super cool when I first saw it. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited.
Yeah, it has music by the original Jet Set Radio composer. So like the
It's
soundtrack.
I'm not
Already
super
amazing.
hyped about that because the thing is, all of Jet Set Radio's best music is actually all the licensed music. If I'm going to be honest.
all right. They put a lot of hard work into their music.
I'm not throwing shade.
It sounds like you are.
I-
It's pretty
But-
good.
They can't
Ah.
top. Jet Set Radio had Rob Zombie music. Okay,
That's true.
I'm not gonna throw shade, but it did have that.
What's wrong with Rob Zombie music?
No, I'm saying Rob Zombie music is good.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
I'm saying the licensed music overshadows a lot of the original OST. But I mean, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk's OST is still going pretty hard from what I've heard.
Yeah.
Also, this
It-
definitely looks a lot more open than Jet Set Radio, which was
Yeah,
a
it
lot
does.
more
Yeah.
timed levels.
Yeah, Jet Set Radio was pretty mission based, where it just threw you into a small area and then
I
had
haven't
you
played
do stuff.
Future. I don't know how Future is structured.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah, this
No one's
one
played that.
looks a lot more
Got it.
open. And along with that, I feel like the movement looks even better than Jet Set Radio. Because I played Jet Set Radio a little bit, but like my biggest issue I had with the movement is it felt a little too loose, if that makes sense. Because you're on rollerblades and stuff, so you're kind of skating around, which can make it hard for the more precise platforming moments where
Oh
you need
yeah,
to
like
make a
the
jump
parts
specifically,
levels
you know?
that made you wall run are a nightmare.
Yeah, it can be really hard to do that. This one, it looks a lot tighter because instead of being on roller skates, you're just on soap shoes. You know, you
Okay.
got the soap shoes from Sonic Adventure 2.
Right.
Yeah, and like a rocket backpack. So the platforming in this looks super clean and super tight and just looks amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
I'm
a
real
good point.
excited for it.
Yeah, I can agree.
And since, you know, instead of skating around, you're just running around, but with like a jet-powered backpack, it seems like the overall movement is a lot tighter and probably easier without losing a lot of the complexity with the fun rail grinding and the tricks you can do.
Yeah.
And like we saw one guy with a skateboard.
Yes.
So, you know,
Wow.
yeah, they got a skateboard in this, so we're good.
Oh,
Yeah. Now,
Okay,
see, this
okay.
just appealed to me even more
Yeah.
because I longboard. So
Oh,
I mean, it's
like,
not
if-
it's
if-
not
if this is
skateboarding, but
like if this is just like Jet Set Radio with like even better controls, because like I said, the Jet Set Radio controls aren't bad. It just takes a while to get used to them, you know.
It feels like actually roller skating.
Yeah, exactly.
Roller
So
skating
you
is
gotta
not,
get
that
your
precise.
yeah.
kinda
So you gotta
janky.
get used to it, you know.
yeah.
And it takes a while before the controls really click with you in Jet Set Radio. This one, it looks like a lot more straightforward.
Yeah.
But it honestly appeals to me a bit more because of that.
I'll have to see how it feels.
Yeah,
Just gonna get
obviously
demo,
it's
I
just
wonder?
like, you know, judging based off of what it looks like, which is totally different than judging based off of actually playing and comparing.
Yeah, like you can't really feel like the weight of something like that, which I'd say Jet Set Radio is kind of weighty feeling, so I'd have to see how this feels from actually playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it does look really good. You can just like slide across the ground and then kick a robot in the face. It looks pretty good.
Fun. Yeah.
All right. Got anything else on
Um,
Bomb Rush Cyberpunk?
I think I've said what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty pumped up to play it, and it looks really, really good.
Oh, real quick before we move on, one last thing is they did announce a release window during the Indie World presentation, which is it's coming out next year. which
Oh,
is a pretty
nice.
vague release window, but compared to the previous release window which was sometime in the future, uh,
So we got
it's
a
a lot
little,
better
a
because
lot more
'cause honestly,
definitive.
I thought this was going to be like a 2023 title, so the fact that we
Oh,
know it's coming out in 2022 is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it could be late third quarter 2022, but
That's true. Which I imagine it's going to come sometime in the second half of 2022, but still,
right.
yeah, it's probably at least a year away.
Yeah, if I would had to guess, yeah.
Like if it comes up in early 2022, I'd actually be like really surprised.
It would, it would,
impossible, but
it
yeah.
would bring up questions to see how good the game is then. If they
Yeah.
just, if it seems like they just kind of push it out.
I mean, it depends. We don't know exactly how long they've been working on it
True,
because
true.
like it got first announced. I don't know, maybe when was it? It was almost like 8 months ago at this point. I want to say around there.
Uh, yeah, that'd be probably right around time of Stream
I
3.
want to say it was like it was before that. I don't remember exactly, but
Yeah,
they've been working on it for a good while before that. But it's one of those things where we don't know exactly how long the team's been working on it because uh, the last game they made was a fighting game that had like long-term support.
right.
So we don't know if they were working on both projects simultaneously or something
Possible.
like that. But
Who
when
knows?
this game comes out next year,
We will
uh,
be the judge of that.
yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on it when it comes
Agreed.
out.
All right. Well, what do we got next? Is it
Toem,
Stream
right?
it's Toem or Tome?
Poem, I
Okay.
think it's called.
This is the
It's a
picture taken game.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
isometric, black and white. You take pictures.
cute.
You play as a little snivy looking dude.
Snivy and
Yeah,
something else had a kid right there.
Yeah. And you
something.
go around with your little antique camera and take pictures.
Yes, in a black and white world because they didn't have color.
Yeah, it looks pretty cute. It's made by a Swedish development team. I want to say, I'm pretty sure it's Swedish. I remember like
That German.
Joel. Wait, what?
You
No,
remember?
it's saying it could have been German or something.
No, no. I'm pretty sure it's Swedish because I remember seeing this game before at like Summer Games Fest.
Oh, okay.
And I remember Joel from Vinesauce checked it out, and he took note of it because it was from a Swedish developer, and he likes
Okay.
games like these where you walk around, take photos and stuff.
Yeah.
It looks pretty decent.
Yeah, it didn't look half bad. Not gonna lie.
Ooh,
For
it's one of those games. Like I'd probably really enjoy it if I played it, but it's kind of hard to talk about.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty straightforward concept that you will probably be interested in or not interested in.
I
Yeah.
just hope this game doesn't get like chalked up to the so much hype for a very simple game.
Ah.
I don't think this is gonna be hyped up at all. In fact, if this gets any hype at all, I'll be amazed.
I mean, yeah, I feel like
But
sometimes with these indie games, just a straightforward concept works. Because
yeah, I mean,
sometimes,
you gotta keep in mind, like, it's really, really hard for indies to get any notoriety at all. Like, being in one of these indie world presentations is not an easy thing to do,
yeah,
and getting in one is like a
huge,
huge
yeah.
boom.
Like 2-3 minutes in one of these presentations is huge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
That's definitely true.
it's pretty much the make or break for some companies.
yeah, for some
Or
studios, yeah.
some studios rather. That's what I meant to say.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, this overall looked pretty straightforward, clean, interesting. I like the art style of it.
Hmm.
Felt very Chikori-esque visuals.
I love
Except you
the
can't color it in, obviously.
I love how there's just a lonesome ugly duckling on top of a tree.
It's a square tree too, like the ones they have in Sonic Forces.
Oh, man, those are scary.
Look, it's Ghostface in the little TV.
Yeah.
He's stalking the guy.
I don't think that's a TV. I
Spooky.
think that's like a little store stand something. But yeah. Um.
But yeah, anything else we really want to say of it? I mean, Recola kind of took the words from my mouth. I mean, it's probably one of these games where it'd be fun to play, but it's not really. Can't really talk too much about it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, it's cute.
Yeah, I mean. So, did this get any release date, or is this just kind of like a trailer for it?
You know, I'm actually not sure if there's a release date for it.
Because
Let
I
me
know they,
Google
I
it real
don't,
quick.
I don't know if they, I don't remember if they showed any release dates for these games like directly in it. But I know like on other websites they, or tweet like Twitter will have like random shit that they post. It's like,
Mm, I can't find anything for it.
ah,
Let me.
it's gotta be.
I can't even find like the actual game itself on Google.
How bizarre.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh,
I mean,
I
it's
found it on Steam. It's supposed to come out fall of this year.
oh cool.
Oh, okay.
They don't have like a a
Actually,
release
so
date.
kind of
They just
soon,
have.
probably in
Yeah.
the next 3-4 months.
Hmm.
All right, so maybe we'll have to check this out in the next 3 or 4 months. See how it is. I mean, it's coming to Switch,
Maybe.
so it might be a nice little fun handheld game to play. You know.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a demo out for it on Steam right now. So if
Alrighty.
anybody wants to
Oh,
test it out, they can download a demo from Steam.
perhaps.
Yeah, might have to check this out.
All right.
Always got to support the
So-
small indies.
Yeah. That's
Alright,
true.
Well,
But yeah,
Anyway.
let's move on. What do we got
To Loop
next?
Hero.
Loop Hero. Oh, this looked
this
cool.
is already out. Yep.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
already
moved
out.
up.
This was
Wow.
just announcing a Switch release for it. You know.
I've never seen this game, but when
Oh.
I saw the trailer, it looked pretty interesting.
Interrupt. I
Yeah,
haven't gotten around to playing it.
I haven't played it, but I have watched quite a lot of people playing it. Like I watched
Gameplay.
Vinny Vine Sauce play it. Literally, this is the only people I watch are Vine Sauce. So, you know, the
I
only
like-
games I know about is if Vinny or Joel played it.
I like the whole concept that
yeah.
they got going on with like completing loops and then unlocking more stuff.
Yeah, this game is basically very autoplay. Like honestly, this is like while I was watching it, like from Vinny play it and stuff, I don't think there was any a point where I thought, yeah, this looks good. Well, okay, that sounded mean. Basically, what I thought was I didn't really think
Nothing stood out to you, is what you're
interested
trying
me.
to say. Yeah,
It's not that it didn't stand out to me; it's that it didn't appeal to me. That's what I meant.
yeah.
Okay.
I didn't mean that it like doesn't look good as much as it doesn't look good for me. It's not something that I would be into.
Yo,
Not
Black
that it's
Black Chestnut
necessarily
just
bad.
came at Loop Hero just like instantly. Does not look good
Yeah.
at all.
Well, it's like I just don't really like the autoplay games, you know.
Yeah, I can
And
understand
I've
that.
made this very clear, like in the past. It's like, oh yeah, my biggest problem with Metopia is that the game plays its fucking self.
Yeah.
know.
You know, if this is more of an
Otherwise, I'd love
autoplay
it.
game, I might be more interested in it, actually, you putting it
Yeah.
that way.
I mean, like for an autoplay game, I hear it's really, really good. It's just
'Cause
I am
I
not
can dig a
interested in
more
autoplay
productive
games.
cookie clicker.
Yeah, because like how the game works is that the game effectively plays itself, but you create the world your hero is adventuring through.
Okay.
So you
So
play
the
as
adventure
God.
will is kinda
You play as a metaphorical God.
in a sense, but well, actually, I think you play as the player. The character just controls themselves for combat. Because how it is the character is constantly walking around a circular world where they're constantly looping around the world, but you can place like buildings or environments around said loop, and then that will change like what happens while you're looping through the world. So like you can set up a cemetery and now you'll fight zombies and stuff like that.
So it's like Dungeon Keeper, but you're on your feet. Like, you gotta keep moving.
Yeah.
Right.
Level.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Dungeon Keeper, but your character is consistent, always like walking around the world. And when they
Yeah.
get into fights, it's like turn-based combat, but the character, yeah, it's like an ATB turn-based combat, but the character will just automatically attack
Right.
Yeah.
every time the bar fills up.
Right.
But you do give them equipment and stuff. So So in order to succeed, you have to make sure you manage their equipment, giving them the best gear for current situation, while also, you know, setting up the world that they're venturing through until you eventually
Simple.
get to like the Lich boss, who is the guy who destroyed the world effectively, which you're trying to piece back together.
Wow.
Yeah. So like I said, not something that I'm personally really interested in, but it's not like bad, you know.
It's a simple little game.
Yeah. It's like if you enjoy the autoplay styles of games, there's definitely a lot to enjoy in Loop Hero. For me personally, I'm just not a big fan of the genre at all, so it just doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah, I get
Respectable.
that.
Yeah, respectable.
No.
I get that. I get it.
But yeah, I think you might like it, Ricola, because it is a good game.
Yeah, maybe I might.
I think I might end up
I,
checking it out. Just even if it's just
that's
watching
kind of something I
somebody.
actually might be interested in. Something a bit more casual.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
check
would
it out.
recommend, like checking out like honestly
I thought
Vinny's
of it for a
streams
while
of it
now.
were good. He did a ton of streams of it. He really liked it, so, you know.
Yeah, I've been hearing about it for a while. I've been meaning to play it. It's been on my wish list.
Yeah.
Actually, now that you say that, I just looked at your wish list the other day. I did see this on there.
Yeah, I added it around the time it came out. Because like I heard a few people talking about it. I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, maybe I'll check it out when it comes to Switch. Actually, is it
Yeah, I
coming
think
out?
it might have came out day of when they
Okay, it
did
might
the
have
Indie
already
World
dropped.
presentation. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay,
I don't
well,
exactly remember if
I'll
they
take a
said or
look.
not.
You just sound like a robot at the end there.
Did I?
Yes. Anyways, do we want to move on?
Yeah, I think we can move on.
All right, what do we got next?
A game called Far Changing Tides.
Oh yeah, this I think this actually looked really neat. This gave me inside vibes, except for not super creepy.
Yeah. This
Sort of.
is like a sequel to another game by obviously the same devs, of course.
Is a
With
sequel.
like a similar title. It was like Far and then a different subtitle, but I don't remember exactly what the different subtitle was. I don't remember when the first game came out, but I know
It's an
this is a
awfully
sequel to
generic
that.
name.
Yeah. I mean, it looked good, but it
Oh
also,
yeah, I think I have
yeah.
actually be interested.
Honestly, when I was watching the Indie World presentation, though, I thought, yeah, this looks neat. I'm not so sure I'd be super into it, though.
I really dig these kind of like sort of I don't know what I usually use the word like cinematic platformer kind of thing. Like give me like inside like vibes, like like you push stuff around occasionally and jump, that kind of thing. But also there's a boat, so that's the
Yeah.
gameplay loop. And you know what? I can dig that. Look atmospheric.
Yeah. For me
Yeah.
personally, when it comes to like slower paced games in general, when I'm looking for something slower paced, I'm usually looking for something that still has a consistent, constant progression growth. Like
Yes.
Metroidvanias or JRPGs, where it's like, yeah, they're a bit slow paced, and some of times they can be long. Um, but there is that constant progression. In a JRPG, you're constantly leveling up and getting new stuff, and Metroidvanias are constantly finding new abilities while you're just casually exploring through the world.
Right.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
So yeah, I think this looks good. Like that's the thing with indie games. Like even if it's not something that appeals to me, I usually think it still looks good. You know, it's really hard for an indie game for me to look at like an indie game and think that looks bad. Like at worst, when
Yeah,
it comes to indies, I usually will be like, it doesn't really appeal to me, and then just move on. But that's
yeah,
another thing with indies is that a lot of times a lot of indie games are looking to appeal to a more niche audience anyway. You know. So if
Yeah.
you don't feel like if it doesn't fulfill your niche, you're probably not going to be interested in it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it sucks that they kind of.
Especially compared to say AAA games, which all feel the same, especially nowadays.
Yeah, but they got
It's like a
they
billion
know.
Ubisoft clones, that are trying to appeal to like everybody by having
yeah.
open world crafting system.
Or a battle royale.
Yeah, exactly.
Open world crafting battle royales. That's what it's really at.
A lot of battle royale games have crafting systems, I think.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's.
I know that Minecraft battle royale has the Hunger Games.
I mean, Fortnite is
They
there.
had to legally change that to like survival games.
Yeah.
Had to become legally distinct.
Yeah, that's the OG battle royale game mode, and it's still the best one.
We got to trace it back further, but
I don't think it goes back further. I'm pretty sure it goes all the way back to just Minecraft Hunger Games.
yeah.
I mean,
Because
honestly, I
it went
remember.
from, yeah, if I remember correctly, the evolution of the battle royale genre. This is really off topic, but I'll make this quick. It was like Minecraft Hunger Games, then it went to like that one zombie game.
No idea what you just
It was
said,
like World
Ricola.
Z. Yeah, you went.
H1Z1.
Yes,
I
it went to
think was next.
H1Z1. Yeah, it was like Minecraft Hunger Games, H1Z1, and then it was like PUBG, and then it went to Fortnite, and then it went to like Apex Legends, and then like Call of Duty, like War Zone or whatever.
Yeah, Warzone.
Call of Duty Cold War Infinite Zone. That is the time for
Yeah,
Yeah,
zombies.
that's the game. That's the running meme where it's like regular updates for a game are like 10 gigs, and Warzone is like 150 gigabytes. Do you have enough space?
yeah.
No. But yeah, I'll go Battle Royales. Who would try to make a Battle Royale? Remember Fallout 76 Battle Royale that didn't
Oh
even
my
have 100
God.
players? They had to like lower it to like 40 something because there wasn't enough players.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
More importantly,
Anyway.
remember the JoJo Battle Royale? I'm gonna add a tangent here, but just
Yeah,
wondering.
this is. No, I don't. Actually,
Look it up.
you mean the arcade one that was only in
Yeah.
arcades? Yeah, now
Yeah.
I remember that.
But okay, yeah, let's end that tangent. That's the
Yeah.
best Battle Royale, so we're done.
Yes. All right. For our changing tides. Let's
Yeah,
go.
guys have anything else to say on this?
No.
This might be one of the ones I'm most interested in this, but yeah.
I mean, it does look good. Boats are cool. If it was a train game, maybe I'd be down for it.
You'd be right up
You know?
for it.
It's like it's something like this. It's like, okay, scrap metal boat in like a ocean. If it was like an airship or if it was like a train, then I'd be down for it.
Transportation. Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
You know, that's what makes Spirit Tracks so much better than all the other Zelda games, is because instead of having a lame horse, you have an awesome train.
Spirit Tracks train is very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right. Well, anything else we want to say?
No, I think I'm good on this.
All right. What do we got next, guys?
It was Necro Barista Final Pour. So I want to say this is like a remaster of a game that was already out.
This game looked interesting. I've never even seen
Or
this.
I can't remember where I've heard of it.
Yeah. I think the premise is like people are dead, but they're in a cafe, which is like purgatory. And then they do stuff before leaving purgatory or something like that. And it's like, I want to say it's like is it like more of a visual novel or more of a point and click adventure?
I think more of a visual novel. Just I'm looking it up, just trying to remember where I've seen this before. They described it as a visual novel, so
Okay. Yeah. It's a visual novel with like low poly cell shaded 3D models, which is pretty rare for a visual novel. Usually they just have low quality anime style artwork.
yeah.
But it's all right. Sometimes you gotta mix it up.
Yeah. So another game that doesn't look bad, but also doesn't look like something I necessarily would be interested in.
I've played visual novels that you serve people like coffee and shit.
Yeah.
I think I've had my fill of that, honestly.
You know, there is a surprising amount of visual novels centered around, like being a bartender or a cafe person.
Yeah,
You know?
it's because Valhalla was just that good.
Yeah.
or its full title, VA11 Hall A.
Yeah.
it's an easy way to just kind of like. I think it's good framing advice just to like kind of like have like a game where it's just about talking to people. I think it's good framing advice.
Yeah, that's probably why. It's easier to write a story around like a visual novel story, especially
And
around like a place where people are just inherently going to be having conversations.
you could have like basic game you could sell because like um, selling
You're really
hard
robot-y.
Yeah.
Western Sphere.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
We really need to fix your fucking audio. It's terrible.
Is it that bad?
It's
Yeah.
really
I don't.
bad. Like literally listen back to the last two episodes.
Wow. That's tragic. I, let me turn down my receive volume then. I don't know what's so bad about it. I'm talking right into the mic. What the fuck? Ja-
Yeah.
Stupid snowball.
I don't know. I think it might be. You might need to figure out a different means of
We'll
like.
have to test some stuff out.
Yeah.
And we'll figure it
Well,
out.
well. Troubleshoot. I'll beat the crap out of this mic until until it starts working.
You're gonna scare it to work. You gotta yell
Yeah,
at it.
I'm gonna stare at it. If I just stare at it this entire time, it'll start working better.
You gotta waterboard it. That's how you really get your point across.
That's how you get a great microphone, by putting it underwater.
Yeah, you gotta make
Yeah.
it feel like it's not gonna be.
But like I was saying though about that, I think like the kind of like bartending like kind of thing is also just an easy way to kind of put gameplay into a visual novel, because I think selling a pure visual novel is kind of hard, at least in the West anyway.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like I said earlier, lots of indie games will target niche audiences, and you don't get much more niche than like actual visual novel fans.
Right.
It's true.
You know, I think there's a larger audience for ironic visual novels.
That is
For, like,
very
real
tragically
ones.
true.
Yeah. Some ironic ones are good though. It's when
Yeah.
it's like an ironic visual novel, but only in like what it's talking
See,
about,
hey,
and not like
Hey, Tofu Boyfriend, the pigeon dating sim, the twist of that was you think it's ironic, but then it turns into like a real, like 20 minutes in,
yeah,
it just gets actually good.
yeah.
That was the
They're,
gimmick.
like the best ironic visual novels are the ones that don't try to shit on visual novels.
Yeah, like,
You know?
what was it that, like, Dream Daddy or whatever? That was one, like, they clearly had not like, played. Like, they didn't have stuff, like, as basic as, like, a backlog. Like,
Yeah,
they clearly had never, like, played another one, so they were just like, oh, goofy dating sim.
yeah. Well, wasn't that like produced by like the Game Grumps and stuff?
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm Grump and I'm not so Grump. And we're the Game
That game
Grumps.
didn't have a backlog, where you can, like, check what,
Right.
if you, like, accidentally press the button and, like, miss the text box. That
Yeah.
didn't even have that. It didn't have stuff as basic as that. That's how you can tell. And then there's Doki Doki Literature Club, which is on a whole, which isn't actually trying to shit on visual novels. It's just that it hit like some sort of weird mainstream popularity where all the people that played it shit on visual novels.
Exactly. It's Doki Doki Literature Club is like a very weird case of like, it's a visual novel horror game, but it's kind of like how Madoka Magica is like a dark magical girl, where everybody thinks it's trying to be subvertive of the genre, when in reality, no,
It's
it's
just kind
just
of typical.
in the
Yeah,
genre, but it's doing a dark take on it.
yeah.
And
It's just
and it's
kind of being
even less the
typical.
case with Doki Doki Literature Club, because there is tons of fucking visual novels, especially dating sims, that have like suicide and dark themes in them, and like characters getting killed and shit.
Fuck,
You
Higurashi
know?
did it in 2002.
Yeah, like School Days does it, Higurashi does it, like everybody knows about those ones, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Doki Doki Literature Club just kind of hit a weird mainstream
yeah.
popularity out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
like Doki Doki Literature Club did not really do anything new or original outside of like breaking the fourth wall. You know?
Yeah, being American.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's like
white people in it. Not
Yeah.
that. So it's.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
yeah.
I'm being facetious.
But yeah.
That's a fun word. Yeah. Necrobarista.
Final pour.
gonna.
Anything else?
I don't know.
I don't have.
I got
Time
too
to
much of a
say that.
backlog to get to this.
Yeah. It looks
Something
okay.
I might get to like 5 years from now.
Yeah, we're. It's gonna be one of those games you just. Yeah.
Or I'll buy it on sale on Switch and like play it.
Yeah.
You know, that
Honestly,
could happen.
the biggest thing that like kind of put me off of this game was just like the themes. If that makes any
Is there-
sense. As, it's just because it's like, oh yeah, they're like in the afterlife, and I'm just kind of like, I think I'll pass. You know?
You know, being in the afterlife probably does lower the stakes.
Yeah. I don't know. There was just something about it when I was like watching the trailer, and I was just kind of like, this looks fine. I'm sure someone will like it, but I don't think that someone will be me.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it sucks that a lot
I
of
have
these indie games end up
I have
getting
so many
chucked like that.
similar games that I'd rather get to first.
Yeah. I mean, like pretty much every video game is like that. You know, it's like, oh yeah, it's going to either appeal to me or it's not. But you know what? It's always going to appeal to someone.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it has
guess.
to be an ultra dumpster fire to appeal to no one. It's got to be like E.T., you know, for the Atari to like,
I ain't
you know,
throwing
not
shade
appeal
on
to anyone.
ET.
E.T. for
kinda
the
rad
Atari
for
was
an
a
Atari game.
classic. People hated on it for no
The
reason.
Oh,
game
don't
ain't that
really-
bad for Atari.
I mean,
For-
like, there's definitely worse Atari games, and there's also definitely better ones.
yes.
No,
But
that
yeah.
was the best one.
Huh?
That
Anyway,
was the best one.
Sure.
Yes, it
we're
was.
spending too much time on this game, not actually talking about the game.
Yeah,
so
let's talk
just move
about
on.
Garden Story. This game, you know, it's kind of neat, but also I kind of think I'd hate it. Garden Story.
Yeah, I don't know. This one
Here-
was
here-
one of the ones that
This is
interests
the
me a
island
bit
one,
more.
yes? Is one where you build islands? Yes, I'm not thinking of the wrong thing.
No, you're thinking of a totally different thing. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, fuck. I'm thinking of a different game.
Yeah, that's like an island building
Oh, I'm
game.
thinking of
with all-
Islanders. Sorry.
Yeah, that game is like you only build islands. Garden Story is like an action adventure, farm sim sort of game. I want to say.
Okay, this game completely lost my brain then. Apologies to this game
Yeah.
then.
Honestly,
gotta be
Garden
the worst
Story
of all.
was. Yeah, Garden Story is one of the ones I was a bit more interested in. I like knew about it before the Indie World presentation, but I didn't know that much about it. And honestly, I still don't know that much about it.
Yeah, they just kind of showed off gameplay for it. I mean, there really wasn't much.
It is
Now I
out
feel
right
like-
now. You know, it came out like day of any
That
presentation.
always cracks me up every director. It's like available now.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not doing that because you watch it direct. I can't go download it.
Right, like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop watching this and I'm gonna go buy that game.
Yeah.
Even with the Steam tags, I'm looking at it. It doesn't have like an actual genre listed. Like the Steam tags for this game right now are like indie, great soundtrack, exploration, and architecture, or archiculture, or whatever. What is this?
Agriculture. So it's a farming game.
Agriculture. Yeah, it's a farming game, but it's like it's also an action adventure game where you're running around with like a sword. You can go fishing and kill monsters and shit. Think.
Oh, it's a farming game.
There's definitely a boss fight screenshot in here.
To be fair, I think all like the Harvest Moons and Stardew Valley also have hitting things with swords.
That's
Okay,
true, but it
so-
seems a bit more.
I mean,
focus.
The dude,
I
the
guess
purple dude has a literal sword.
Yeah, he's a grape.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, this is a game I'm interested in, but I also kind of want to sit down and watch maybe a Let's Play or something of it before I actually, make a decision on whether or not I'm gonna get it. It's one of those things.
I feel bad that this game kind of left my brain. Like I don't remember seeing this. I feel bad.
You did this game so dirty.
I feel bad. I'm sorry,
You
Garden
should.
Story. You're probably really good. I think a good farming game
Yeah.
would have been the mood.
Hey, Slime
know,
Rancher,
Steam-
Slime Rancher was cool.
Oh, Slime Rancher is awesome.
Yeah, because it seems like you're farming, you're building up a town, but then you're also going on like quests and stuff. and it seems like
So it's like
the
Rune
combat
Factory, but not a
to an
JRPG.
extent, but it seems like the combat is like shares equal focus to the farm sim elements, where it's more 50-50 compared to say Stardew Valleys, where it's like, 80-20 to farming to combat,
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Stardew Valley is really heavy on the farming
farming.
aspect. Yeah.
You could go the entire game without even touching the mines in Stardew Valley, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, but
Yeah.
that's actually kind of
This looks
nice to know,
interesting.
actually.
Might pick it up.
Yeah, like I said, I want to look a bit more into it before I say decide. On it. But this was one of the games in the presentation that interested me a bit more.
I can see why
Something I
this
actually
game looked
would
good.
like to play
My
on
interest.
Switch. Farming games play really well on Switch. If you haven't played a Stardew Valley or like a Harvest Moon game on Switch, or
Mhm.
not Harvest Moon, or Story of Seasons now. Don't buy any game that's called Harvest Moon. Another dev owns that license now.
Yeah.
Buy Story of Seasons.
Mhm.
But yeah.
We'll move on. Anything else we want to say on this?
Sure. Nah.
Yep. I think I'm good.
All right. What do we got
Plays a
next?
great. It's funny.
After that,
Boyfriend.
yeah, it's Boyfriend Dungeon.
Yes. Now this game,
Yeah.
I don't know. This looks like Hades with more dating.
Yeah, it kind of is. Um, so I
That's
was
the movie
talking.
depiction.
Yeah.
Zoom in on that
So
guy's face.
yeah.
No.
That Keanu Reeves looking guy.
There. I did. I zoomed in on his face a little bit.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh man, look at his hand. He's like gripping. Ugh, that's creeping me out.
Yo. Yeah, he's like doing the claw hand. Anyway, so I was talking earlier about like niche genres and stuff for
Yeah.
indie games that touch. I feel like this one is like as niche as you can possibly get.
Yeah, cause like I'm not. I'm sorry,
What is
but I'm
like
not.
dungeon crawler otome game? Like
Yeah. It's like, okay, to be interested in this game, you want to both play like a female protagonist centric dating sim
yeah.
along with also wanting to play a dungeon crawler at the same time.
Yeah.
You know?
I just don't find
And I
myself wanting to play those two genres
yeah.
specifically at the same time.
Yeah. It's like I don't know if this game has like a gay male option where it's like, oh yeah, you can play as like a dude and then all the characters are like gay and shit, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I have it did not appear to me that way.
Yeah.
It seems to be going for
Yeah. So like this game already is like mostly centered towards a female audience being, a female centric dating sim,
Right.
yeah.
right? And then it also is like, okay, you also will want to be in the mood to play a dungeon crawler at the same time.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's like this
really
feels to
specific.
me the as niche as you can possibly get.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
I genuinely like it's not niche like being like an inaccessible game. It's just like just a genre that like it's just a weird
Yeah.
mashup of
I
genres.
bet Aaron Hansen would love this though.
See, this is like the kind of game that could be someone's top one game.
Oh
See,
yeah,
it's
this is
so
definitely like
niche.
one of those games where it's like, oh yeah, if
This is
this is your thing, you will love this.
this is someone's
You know?
game of the year already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They saw this and they're like, yo, this is me right here.
Yeah. It's very much in that camp of you will probably know right away whether or not this appeals to you at all. And if it does appeal to you, you might love it, because
Right.
it's like so specific that if you're interested in this, you would have to possibly be interested in this.
Yeah.
Which I wonder how, because it's out now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I wonder
Oh man, I
how.
gotta see the smells for this. I'm really curious how niche
Yeah,
this is. Is this on Steam as well? Can we check?
I think it is. Yeah, it's on Steam.
I feel like it low key might be good.
So far, it has 381 reviews. And keep in mind, that's just reviews. That's not sales.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey,
So,
that's
you
not bad
know,
for early reviews, actually.
yeah, that's not bad for a game that just came out, like 5 days ago. So, it seems to
No,
be
this
doing
game's probably
decently well.
sick. If you're a fan of this, it's probably sick.
Yeah.
If you like hot dudes and dungeon crawling, this is
Yeah.
your game. See, not even just that you like hot dudes, it's that you also like Otomes, where it's like a game where you play as a girl and date hot dudes. Because
Yes.
that that
Yeah,
that
exactly.
that that's another layer.
Exactly.
It's
That's
layer upon
But then
layer upon
you're
layer.
also interested in dudes that are also like swords, which is like an anime trope. I swear there's like an entire anime based around this trope where it's just
Yeah.
hot anime dudes who are also like swords and shit like that. You know, like there's tons of like animes that have similar to this concept with both like guys and women where it's like, oh yeah, is they're anime girls, but they're boats. It's like it's anime, swordsmen that are literally swords.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, want to move on? I mean, there's not really much
Sure.
to say on this.
Yeah.
Axiom Verge 2.
Yeah. Okay. So this
Yeah,
is another one that was just like, oh yeah, it's out now. And I was like, when I was watching that, I was like, well, thanks for the heads up.
You just blindsided, yeah.
It's like, I've only been waiting for this to like for you guys to drop the release date for this for like weeks now. Thanks for
right.
just dropping it on me.
It's out
But
now. Go
I've been
get it.
playing Axiom Verge 1.
Yeah.
Since we talked about it last week, right?
Mhm. Yeah, and I've been playing Axiom Verge 2 since it came out.
All right.
Um, First thing I want to say is maybe don't get the PC release. And keep in mind,
Okay.
I got the PC release, so this is primarily why I'm saying it. The PC release for Axiom Verge 2 is an Epic Game exclusive,
Ah,
and
bro.
I was just willing to put up with the Epic Game stuff, especially since I played the first game for free thanks to the Epic Game Store. So
Right.
that's how
Yeah.
I played the first game, and so I was just like, you know what, screw it, I'll just buy the sequel on there as well. But because I bought it on the Epic Game Store, and the Epic Game Store doesn't have great controller support, and
It's
I wanted to
not.
play this with my DualSense, and the game just didn't natively have DualSense support. Like I couldn't get it to work. In
Right.
order to make it basically playable with a controller, I had to add the game to my Steam library. You know how
Oof.
you would add
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
there's
well.
there's
Steam
no
game to your
DS5
library.
Windows yet, is there?
Yeah, and then play it through Steam in order to get the controller support.
You know, I'll be honest, that's not
It's
too
not the
big of a deal
worst.
breaker
Yeah.
for,
It's not.
like me.
It's
'Cause
not like
I do that. I
the
do
end
that
of the
shit
world.
for a ton of PC games. Like a lot of
Yeah.
PC games don't support DualShock.
Yeah,
So
but it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, you might want to consider picking this one up on console,
yeah,
which I'm sure a lot of people will
yes,
already be
no.
doing. Yeah, I just wanted to put that out there because that's my experience with my copy of the game specifically, and I
To be
chose the
fair, I
PC
take
version.
Metroidvanias portably anyway.
Yeah, and I chose the PC version mostly just because it's like, I kind of just really want to play it on PC, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice always
But
playing stuff on your computer.
I kind of want to say maybe some problems I maybe have with Axiom Verge 1, and you could kind of say if how Axiom Verge 2 kind of
Okay.
differs.
Yeah.
But Axiom Verge 1, I'm enjoying it, but I feel like some of the areas kind of blend together, sort of. They just kind of feel amorphous, if that...
Yeah.
I don't know, like...
The world in Axiom Verge is very interconnected.
It's
You
very
know?
Metroid, which is good and bad.
Yeah.
Like, off really does feel like an alien planet, but also it kind of feels like a blob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
There's an area you get to that will like connect every single area together, and that's kind of like your fast travel means in the first
Yeah.
game. In the second game, you do unlock fast travel upgrade, but you get that a few hours in. It was actually really
Nice.
funny because I was playing through Axiom Verge 2, a couple hours in so far. I want to say maybe about 5-ish. And I was playing it, and the world is huge in Axiom Verge 2. It's like gigantic, and I'm just sitting there being like, damn. In Axiom Verge 1, there was no fast travel ability. I'm really hoping that there's one in this game. And I was getting really worried because you don't have it from the start. You have to unlock it. So when
Yeah.
I finally got it, I was like, ooh, thank
Thank God.
goodness. Yeah. It's like, oh, scared me for a minute there.
Yeah, because even smaller Metroidvanias, fast travel is like really nice. Like even like say like the Castlevania ones where I don't think they're that sprawling.
Hmm.
Like even then, I don't know what I'd do without fast travel.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else. What do you think about the art direction? Actually,
Um,
I
I
don't know how I
like
feel
it.
about Axiom Verges, to be honest. So far, like I don't think I have like a real opinion on it. It's like, oh, it's Metroid.
Yeah. Well, have you found any of the like secret like areas yet where you like
I
go
think I
into a
found them,
place
but
and like it
I
goes into
didn't
like
explore.
weird 8-bit graphics?
I think I did, but I didn't explore it that thoroughly. Like I went in there and I
Right.
was like, okay, I'll check this out in a bit.
Yeah, those are like usually tougher than the main areas.
Yeah.
Because Axiom Verge 2 does that a lot, where there's
Okay.
rifts that only the drone can enter through,
Mhm.
and then it's like, and basically an entire second overworld
Oh
That's
wow.
neat.
that can
Yeah.
only be explored with the drone. Because,
Neato.
like I said, I want to say like last episode, we were talking about Axiom Verge 2 as well, right before it came out.
Yeah, we talked about it a
um,
bit.
yeah, the drone gets a lot more presence and importance in the sequel. Like,
Hmm.
I don't really want to spoil it, but I just got to like a segment where you're basically forced to play as the drone for like a long period of time,
Right.
and like you can't go back to like your human body. And I'm not gonna tell you why, 'cause that would be a spoiler. But yeah. Actually,
Is
have
the
you unlocked?
drone fun?
Yeah,
Oh, I haven't unlocked the drone yet.
yeah,
I have not. If there's a drone next to Verge 1, I have not gotten it.
yeah. There is one. It's actually pretty important. It's like your morph ball ability, but it gets
Well,
much
I'm as far
better.
as I just turned on like a power filter or something. That's how far I am. I'm not super far at all.
Right. Yeah, and I'm
I'm
not
only a
super
couple
far
hours.
into Axiom Verge 2 either. But yeah, primarily the combat is also very, very different in the second game. Because in the first game you just have a gun with different firing types.
Yeah,
Okay.
Axiom Verge 1 is pretty basic.
Yeah.
It's not bad by any means, but it is
You
very
unlock
Metroid.
like tons of different gun types though, which
Yeah.
makes it a lot more interesting. But in the Axiom Verge 2, you have a pickaxe melee weapon, which is just like a
Hmm.
basic melee weapon you swing forward, and then you have a boomerang weapon as your ranged attack. And
Okay, so it's more
that's
Castlevania-y.
a bit. You can get upgrades and stuff, which are basically just like faster attack speed or more damage. Uh huh. Pretty much.
Because I'll be real, like Castlevania has kept me interested the whole time, just because I kind of find like the base, like Hollow Knight also has that where it's really basic melee combat, but it's just fun. Like it's just
Yeah.
ducking
Well,
in and
the
out of like
the
enemies.
the good part of Castlevania is like finding the new weapons, which
Yeah.
will have different attack types and stuff, especially the
Uh,
rare like special weapons.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you get like the huge great swords that are bigger than your body. That's fun.
Yeah. Or like the Crucigrim, which has like million attack speed. You know. Um.
I feel like in any game like that, just really fast attack speed just always wins.
Yeah. It's like the best weapon in Symphony of Night.
But yeah, how does the pickaxe feel in Axiom Verge 2?
Honestly, it feels tough. I want to say it doesn't feel bad as
Okay.
much as all the enemies feel annoying to fight because there's so many flying enemies. And if they're not flying enemies, they're fast moving ground enemies or enemies that have like really fast attack speed. And so
Right.
it
How
feels like
many
a lot of
hits would you say
enemies,
they go down in? Because that's kind of important in a game of like melee.
they take a lot of hits.
Okay, because like I say, like more than 3 or 4 hits could be pretty annoying if like
Keep in
melee combat.
mind, you have a hack ability, which how it works is you hold down the hack button and then you get an AoE. And enemies that go into your AoE after you unrelease the trigger will you can hack. And it'll like pull up like a menu where you can select from multiple different options of how you want to hack the enemy, which can range from anything from making them slower and attack slower to literally just turning them into an ally. So
Oh,
like
so
you
you
can,
can control them.
it's not control. It's like they're automatic allies. It effectively kills them and then turns them into like a support unit for as long as you're in that room, essentially.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Like because when you use the hack that turns them into an ally, it effectively kills them because now you don't have to fight them and they won't attack you, but they will attack other enemies for you.
Right.
So, and like there's other ones where it's just like make it so that instead of them firing missiles, they emit health.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So there's lots of cool stuff you can do with the hack, but it basically it's just like they take a lot of hits and it can be really hard to hit them with the boomerang.
Yeah.
But you also
Uh,
gotta keep in mind that you spend a lot of time as the drone, and that has a completely different attack scheme. That has like a saw blade yo-yo attack.
that's kind of neat.
Yeah. And so that's, slightly different than the melee. So, yeah.
Neato.
Yeah, I'd have
Yeah.
to see how it feels. Really, it's kind of something that's.
Hmm.
I get why it would be annoying though. I get that.
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the
But
thing
no,
though. It's not that annoying because once you realize, oh, I should probably just run past most of the enemies. Because
yeah,
the
I
thing
think that's
is,
probably
there's
you don't get
actually
anything, you know?
a good amount. Well, sometimes they'll drop health, but if they don't
Yeah,
shoot you, then you don't need to pick up health anyway.
same thing if Axiom Verge 1. That's kind of something I had noticed. Enemies.
Yeah. Because Axiom Verge obviously is copying it from Metroid, where killing enemies in Metroid will give you health pickups.
Yeah, and missile pickups. So it's a bit more important than Metroid, I think.
That's mostly because in Metroid you're so big that you're going to get hit by shit all the
Yeah, yeah,
time.
yeah.
But you also
Yeah.
have tons of health in Metroid, so it's not a big deal, usually.
Yeah.
But in Axiom Verge 2, there's a lot of stealth elements. Like there's tall grass that you can hide behind and you can
Chris.
crouch. And all the enemies, uh, they have very limited visibility, right? Like every single enemy in the game usually won't automatically detect you in the area, right? They are constantly surveilling the area looking for you and they're like scanning and they all have like detection radar where it's like, oh, it's like, like in uh like Skyrim where it's like, oh yeah, you got the stealth bar and shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, I get you.
Or in stealth games where it's like, oh yeah, they think they might know you're here, like they're catching on to you, and then it's like then it goes red and it's like, okay, now I know you're here, and then they go after you.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Yeah, like the
I
yellows,
know.
like
Exactly. I know exactly.
yellow one's like, oh, they're concerned, and if it's white, they don't notice you. Red, it's like, oh, you're fucked.
The
Yeah.
type of music playing in Snake Eater. Well, Snake
Yeah.
Eater was awesome.
So there's some stealth elements there, but the only thing is it feels kind of hard to sneak past enemies a lot of the times.
Still a 2D Metroidvania, right? I think it
Yeah,
would still be
exactly.
weird.
But like if you can just like jump
Hmm.
over them and run past them, because you usually will outspeed them, then they're not that big of an issue.
Right.
Plus, you can just like hit them till they die,
Yeah.
or you
Uh,
can send the drone in to preemptively attack them because
sounds like the
if
kind
the
of thing that would
drone
open up
dies, it
more
doesn't
part of
hurt
your
you.
game to it. I'd be curious to ask you about this towards the end of the game. It sounds like a lot of mechanics that by end game, like you'll have like a ton of mechanics that are like super fun to play with. Kind of thing.
Yeah,
Maybe the early games are just kind of weak.
it might be that.
So
I
I'll have
don't
to
know.
ask you about this
I
later.
feel like I'm getting upgrades fairly quickly. and they're
Okay.
feeling pretty good every time I get one.
That's always good.
Yeah. That's like it. Like Axiom Verge, both 1 and 2, I feel like nails the find upgrade feeling in Metroidvanias, where it's just like you find a new progression upgrade or just any upgrade in general, and it's just like this feels great. You know, you get that fuck yeah moment of it's
The
like
finding
dude, I
a
found the
bonfire
double
in Dark
jump. You
Souls.
know, yeah. No, it feels better than that because it's like really Dark Souls doesn't have an equivalent. It's like when you
No,
get
no,
like
I'm saying it has the same like when you find a bonfire in Dark Souls, it's like
no, I don't feel like it's like that at all. You know,
what?
and Dark Souls when you find a bonfire, it's like a relief. It's like, oh fuck yes, thank God. In the Metroidvania, when you find a new power up, it's like a fuck yeah, I just got a new power up. I can just I can go here now and there. There was that door I couldn't open before. This opens that door. You know, you get
Yes.
that feeling.
Yeah, I know
And on top
exactly
of
what
that,
you're
Oh
also
saying.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh, and now I can double jump and shit. You know, it's like, oh man, I can just
Yeah.
do so much more now, and it just feels amazing.
It's
You know,
Yeah.
satisfaction.
and Axiom Verge, both 1 and 2, really nailed that feeling. And the only thing else I really have to say on Axiom Verge 2 is the map. One, it's massive, and there's literally like 2 maps. And but also it's kind of like how they designed it is a little odd because if you look at it, it's like a pixelated version of the level, like scrunched down and shrunk effectively, where they tried to literally map out the level design to give you an idea of like what area was there where, right? Which is
Right.
actually like really cool in theory, but I don't feel like it's great in execution just because it's so scrunched down and so pixelated on the map. It ends up being really hard to tell which area was which anyway, and so the map just kind of looks cluttered because of it, I feel like.
I
Where
mean, that's
it's
fair.
some areas like, okay, yeah, that was the water area. I remember that, or something like that. But then there's other areas that kind of melt together, similar to how Ricola mentioned the first game does, where it's just like, oh, I
Yeah,
can't
there's a
really,
lot of tiles reused. That's
yeah,
see, it's like it's very similar to Metroid, which is both good and bad.
yeah. But overall, still pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm
but
liking it
yeah,
so far. I don't know if but that's the thing. It's like I've mentioned this in the past, but like this year has been really crazy for Metroidvanias. And so
certainly.
Axiom Verge 2 coming out this year. It's got a lot of competition in the Metroidvania field
Genre.
this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's like,
Let's come back.
Ender Lilies came out earlier this year. That was really great. We're getting Metroid Dread later this year.
That's
That
got to be good.
PlayStation exclusive game, Fist, is also coming out this year. That one looks pretty good. There's
Yeah.
lots of good Metroidvanias coming out. Speaking of Ender Lilies, really quick, an update for it just dropped today that like added a boss rush mode and a boss refight mode, and it
That's
also added
nice.
New Game Plus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Replay
check it
Just to
value.
know.
yeah. I checked it out earlier today. It was pretty good. Good update. It, it ended up making the game feel a lot more complete because I 100%ed Ender Lilies, but now with this major update where they added like boss rush mode and New Game Plus, it feels a lot more complete. Especially
Yeah.
since it's a really cool boss refight mode where it makes the bosses harder and stuff.
Oh, that's
Like
fun.
Dark Souls.
Yeah,
Dark
so
Souls doesn't have boss rush. That's
no.
Well, no, it has
yeah.
the feeling of the
Uh,
New
I
Game
thought
Plus.
I thought I was going crazy for a second there.
Yeah. Well, Dark Souls does have the New Game Plus, yeah.
But anyway, we want to move on from Axiom Verge 2.
Yeah, I think I said what I wanted to say on it. It's pretty good so far.
All right. What do we got next?
Shovel Knight.
Pocket Dungeon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now, my opinion on this game is this looks like a game I really want to play on my phone. Now, that's not really a bad thing. It just this doesn't look like the kind of game I play on like a console or my PC.
You
Like
know,
I just
I didn't really
want to
think about it like that, but now that you mention it, I totally see that.
It feels like a phone puzzle game I pull out for like and play it for like 10 minutes and be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Or you play it randomly. You're like, oh, forgot I downloaded this game, and you're just sitting there doing nothing. Like,
It's not even a dig at it. That's just like this looks like the kind of way I'd enjoy playing it.
yeah.
Does it have a mobile release?
I mean, that's what I thought it was at first.
So I know
Because
it has like a Switch release.
well, yeah, because it's Pocket Dungeon, so you got that mobile title. Because
See, like on something like Switch, I gotta close whatever I have open it on it. When like on a phone, I could just be like open it like instantly. Like if I'm
yeah,
playing on a console or something, I gotta like really more sit down. Like for like a fast puzzle game, like I don't know if I want that. But
Yeah,
still, this does look interesting. I really dig the pixel art style. With
does
more
look
of a
interesting.
cutesy Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight's already really pretty.
Yeah. Plague Knight is the best knight.
He's pretty
Dude,
cool. He's pretty cool.
yeah. Everybody like shits on Plague Knight's campaign, but it was like the best one. It's so
I
fun.
only remember Spectre Knights.
That's fair. Spectre Knights was also really good. But no, Plague Knight, especially in the original Hollow Knight, Plague Knight's like the best one because like, dude, he has like the charge blast jumps. He literally loose cannon jumps across the entire game. It's so awesome.
He's very cool. I need to replay Shovel Knight.
I need to play
So
Shovel
old
Knight.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't played Shovel Knight?
No, I have not.
What? It's like Castlevania, but it doesn't try to boil you in oil.
There's some bullshit parts in Shovel
There
Knight.
is, but there's no
Yeah, I'm
lives
looking
or
at you,
anything.
Propeller Knight stage. Ah.
It has rats propellers. It's funny.
Yeah, but like playing that level like as Shovel Knight was like a huge pain in the ass. Playing it as Plague Knight, it wasn't that bad because I could just blast jump across the whole level.
Yeah, but you have anything to say about Shovel Knight? What is this? Pocket Dungeon, actually, though.
It looked
Really?
decent. Yeah.
I was saying, do you have anything more to say about Pocket Dungeon?
Honestly, no, not really. I don't know what to say for it. I kind of like forgot what it was. You know, I'm like, it's like, okay, yeah, it's the Shovel Knight puzzle game where you play it real time as the characters, and all the characters have different abilities and stuff. But then wasn't there also like another thing you do where you just like, walk around and buy items or something? I don't remember.
Probably. See, I watched these all last night, and I'm like vague on it. So, see, that's why I said this is perfect for like a phone game. So, like, this is like I just play it and forget about it like 10 minutes later. Sounds great,
Right.
Yeah.
even if it has some production value.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a Shovel Knight game, so it's got to be good.
Yeah, but I think I have more of a stronger opinion on this Islanders game, which is next. We should move on to that.
Yeah, they can move on.
All
So
right.
it's Islander. This looks neat, like a real minimalist kind of like city building thing. But I kind of hate the idea of destroying your city like every time and just moving on to another one.
Do you destroy the city or do you just move on and then come go back to it?
God, you never see it again.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you never see it again. Which,
That's
yeah,
kind of lame.
you
So
like
it's
put
more
your
of a puzzle game where it's like, okay, build the perfect city and then move on. Which I don't know. I found it fun of like kind of a game like this, making something that keeps getting more and more and more bigger and intricate, and like kind of like admiring that.
because you got
I
to realize
don't know how long I could enjoy.
you put all that work into the one city, and then you're just like, oh, I got to start over again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, games like I've played games like that, but I just
If you really enjoy something like SimCity and like Roller Coaster Tycoon for like the really like if you're like you're a real perfectionist, like you just enjoy those games for the like planning portion and don't really care about just admiring your creation, then you could probably really enjoy this. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think I could dig this.
Man, Roller Coaster Tycoon, I have not played that in a long time.
Warcraft Technique's awesome.
It is awesome. I might have to play that after today's stream. But
But yeah,
yes.
that's kind of my opinion on this. Like, if you really just like these kind of games mechanically and that's it, then maybe you could get something out of this. But otherwise, I don't like that concept.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people that'll play it, but
Like the fun for that kind of game comes from like admiring what I've built.
Yeah,
yeah.
I totally agree.
I mean, who
Yeah,
knows?
This
It
one
could
is
it
like,
could be it
plus
could be
it's like
good.
it looks very minimalist in its like design and approach to it because it's just like, okay, here's the building materials. They don't cost you anything. You don't have to work to get any of them. Just place them
yeah,
wherever you want. You know, it feels more about like creating little dioramas of cities and
Yeah.
then looking at them for like 2 minutes and then making a new one. You know,
yeah.
it
See,
feels
and
like
I'm also
one of
worried where it can
those.
become repetitive real fast. Then.
Yeah, yeah, and it kind of looks like one of those, like I don't know, like those mini Japanese gardens, the miniature gardens,
Yeah.
where
I
you
know what
like,
you're talking about.
it's kind of like, oh yeah, you make one of those in like 5 minutes, and then you move on to the next one, you know,
Yeah.
like in a sense.
It's
Except
just
for those miniature Japanese gardens, that's not what you do. You take a long time making one, and then you appreciate it for a longer time after that, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah, like I said, yeah. That's the fun of these kind of games usually. And so I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of like
Maybe
it's like I don't know. It kind of like to me it like maybe looks a card like a card game where all you do is build your deck, but then you never actually play with it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Honestly,
that's probably
yeah.
a good way to put it. Maybe it's just like so weird of
You know?
concept I can't grasp the gameplay loop being fun. Maybe if I actually like sat down and played it, I'd be like, oh, this is kind of addicting.
Yeah. That's
But it
that's
Yeah.
could
that's
end
what.
up being like that. It could be like a little like weird addicting thing that like that's just so weird that I can't really get it. But I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of how Roller Coaster Tycoon was for me. Just as an example, again, it was just addicting because like there were so many different parks, different rides on the parks, and just the concept of the game
Yeah,
itself was pretty fun.
yeah. Like, well, I mean, like something like that though. I think like that concept sells you. The concept doesn't really grab me aside from its strangeness.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I, I'm interested to hear what people think of it, but otherwise, yeah, I don't think I'll be checking it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to move on then.
Yeah, I guess we can move on.
All right. What do we got next?
It was Metal Slug Tactics.
Oh yeah.
Man, this game
We've talked about this before. Yeah.
still looks great.
Yeah. Still looks good.
Art
Metal
looks
Slug
gorgeous. Metal Slug.
Metal Slug is Metal Slug. You can't go wrong. I mean,
Feels a little bit of a stretch to make a SNK property listed as an indie game. you know,
Uh, I don't know. Is SNK developing it, or is it just their property that they're using?
even I'm not 100% sure. The
I think it's an indie
development team
studio
behind it.
making it.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah,
It's
it's
still
still
SNK
indie.
funding it, though. I think.
Yeah. Hell, is SNK even that big? I mean,
I mean, they were.
yeah.
You used to be a big deal. What happened?
They uh the demand for half their games disappeared because arcades died. But yeah.
I mean, we know what happened to SNKs. It's just like, arcades died out for the most part, and then also on top of that, sprite work died out,
yeah.
Yeah, for
and
a
then
while,
they
yeah.
they just didn't really, you know, because like the
I mean,
whole
hell,
SNK thing was
fighting
that.
games died out for a few years there, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, like, the whole SNK thing is like, oh yeah, they have like the best sprite artists in the entire industry, effectively, is they all
Yeah,
hired the best artists they could. But then when everybody jumped from sprite to polygons, now all their sprite artists,
Pretty much
you ever
just
played Metal
now,
Slug 1 or 2? That game has such good sprite work that it lags even on modern hardware.
yeah,
It's
exactly. You know,
game runs at like 10 frames per second.
like I don't think you can get much better looking than like a OG SNK game.
yeah.
Which is why this is actually kind of exciting. Like, this game just really kind of captures that. I think this looks gorgeous,
Yeah.
which is
Speaking of
its
like
biggest selling point.
SNK sprite art and stuff, I always find it really funny whenever like specifically with Octopath Traveler and like the eight like the HD 2D stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, it's sprite work, but it's like really high quality. And then I look at like Octopath Traveler, I'm like, Metal Slug to look 20 times better. It's like
Yeah.
I'm not impressed. It's like the only really impressive sprite work I feel like in Octopath Traveler was like the bosses. They had really nice sprites, but they also like weren't that animated.
Yeah.
So
See, SNK games are impressive because it's crazy detailed sprite work that's also kind of beautifully animated at the same
yeah,
time. Like,
it
geez,
has
Metal
insanely good
Slug is just,
animation on top of looking gorgeous.
yeah. So
Especially when you
this,
look at like all the King of Fighter games and like all the Metal Slug games, they all look insanely good.
Right.
yeah. So, and this also looks gorgeous. So, yeah. I haven't played.
It's
Be real,
also
I haven't played too many. What's this genre called actually? It's just the XCOM genre. I forgot what the name of it
It's
is.
like,
TRPG? Eh.
yeah, I'd say it's like a tactical RPG. Although, like that, the thing with the tactical RPG subgenre is it kind of needs to have the RPG elements. Otherwise, it's just a turn-based strategy game. You know, where if your units aren't like units that level up and you can like, you know, do shit with them, then it just kind of becomes, turn-based strategy. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
yeah.
Huh. Well, we'll see what this is.
Like it really depends. It's like if there's any leveling mechanics, then it would be like a tactical RPG. And if not, then it's just a regular old tactics game. You know,
Yeah.
Mm.
which there is a good distinction to be made. It's like it's the difference between say like Final Fantasy Tactics and say I'm trying to think of like another one that does a similar thing. Like I don't know, Total War.
Yeah.
That's turn based, right?
No, Total
You know,
War is not
actually,
turn
is it?
based.
It's real time.
That's more of an
Okay.
Yeah,
RTS.
yeah.
Yeah.
Total War is
Well,
real
I
time
mean, the,
strategy.
the thing I'm thinking of mostly is like, say, tabletop, um, you know, not RPGs, like tabletop war games.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, which like my dad's like really big into that. Where there's no role playing elements to that. You just have units, and you like move the units and then you like have them fire. And the units have like, and they don't really have stats. It's all determined basically off of like dice rolls.
Which I
But
like I like the
I mean,
concept of those games.
inherently, every unit has a stats still because it's like you can only move them so far up, and those would be count as stats. And like they can only do so much damage to other units, and those would be count as stats. So there's still always some light RPG elements, even if there's no progression in them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So we'll have to see where exactly it falls into. But those two genres are so similar. You
Right.
know, they're fundamentally appeal to the same crowd, I'd say. If you like Fire Emblem, you'll probably enjoy most other stuff similar to that.
Right.
Yeah.
In that case, do you guys want to move on, or do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm good. Anything else you
Nah.
want to say, Ricola?
No, we've talked about this a bit before, so I don't have too much to say.
Yeah. All right. What do we got next?
It's Tetris Effect Connected.
Oh yes.
Now, this one is definitely not an indie game.
What
It's
studio's doing it? Once
I
again,
don't know, but it doesn't feel like an indie game. It's
see,
Tetris.
see, I brought up the litmus test of is the Way Forward Mummy game a indie game? Because that's like $1 million property as
Yeah,
well.
but that's a licensed game. That's different. This is
Yeah.
Tetris.
yeah.
You
This is
know,
Tetris.
it's not based off of a shitty movie that flopped hard. This is one of the most successful video game franchises of all time.
Yeah.
This is the most well-known and beloved puzzle game of all time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just semantics. If it's an
Yeah,
indie game or not, what does it matter?
it doesn't really matter.
But this is just looks like it's just gonna be Tetris Effect of more multiplayer focus from what I can see.
I think it's just Tetris Effect, but with the multiplayer mode added on top of it.
Okay.
Like, I
See, I
don't
don't.
think this is.
It's
I'm not 100% sure if this is like technically listed as a different game, Tetris Effect Connected, compared to just regular Tetris Effect. I assumed the Connected surname is just like, an enhanced version of Tetris Effect, where it's the same game but with a multiplayer mode now.
Right.
okay.
But
Here,
everybody like always praises Tetris Effect, and I kind of just look at it and think, oh, it's just Tetris, but with bullshit particle effects all over your
see,
face.
that's what I don't I need to actually play this because I don't completely understand it. Because I'm looking at review scores for the original. Giant Bomb gave it their game of the year. Destructoid gave it 9.5 out of 10. A few other
Like,
websites gave it
I
10
can
out of 10.
understand it being good because it's Tetris. You have to really try hard to fuck up Tetris. Tetris is such a perfect, flawless game. You have to go out of your way to like fuck it up, you know?
But
Yeah.
it's not just that. Like this has like a decent amount of like game of the year. Like this isn't just oh this is great. Like this is like oh this is like best game of 2019. I'm seeing people say
And it's like
or
the thing
28.
with Tetris is you can't fundamentally change its design without like, fucking with it. So
Mm,
there is no like real sequels to Tetris. It's just Tetris again, but with different themes and maybe some slightly improved controls or mechanics,
Right.
you know. But like for the most part, Tetris gameplay hasn't changed for like the last like 2 decades, I'd say.
Okay, I'm looking at Effect. Apparently, Effect is actually the gameplay and stuff like dropping is actually tied to music and shit. I don't
It's
know. It's like
weird.
it's the kind of thing where it's like hard to like. This looks like the kind of game where I just need to play this. This looks like an impossible to explain game.
I don't know. Maybe when I'm playing it, it will give me the Tetris effect, and then it will like blow your mind to shit, and that's like how it works. Is that it's
Yeah,
Tetris, but with bullshit particle effects, but the bullshit particle effects like makes you high.
yeah, yeah.
Get
This is
high
this
off
is
the
like
particles.
yeah. This is also I heard it's amazing in VR. So it
Yeah.
gets into your brain, I assume, and
I can't
talks to you.
imagine playing this game like high in VR.
Oh God! Imagine dropping some acid and playing some Tetris VR and
Yeah.
ascending. You would straight up become God.
Yeah. But like that's the thing is it's like, okay, is this better than the objectively best Tetris game ever made? Puyo Puyo Tetris? Which is the best Tetris
Tetris
game ever
DS.
made because it's Tetris with Puyo Puyo, the two best puzzle games merged into one game. So
Wait,
obviously it's the
Does
best.
Puyo Puyo actually just have standard marathon?
I mean, it's a side mode that's in
Okay,
Puyo
I
Puyo
wasn't sure.
Tetris.
I wasn't sure actually.
I don't think it usually does, but I know it does in Puyo Puyo Tetris.
Okay, because standard marathons like that's Tetris.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I don't know. I feel like multiplayer versus Tetris is honestly just as fun as like Marathon Tetris. I personally enjoy that more. And Puyo Puyo multiplayer, which is the base mode for Puyo Puyo, is also tons of fun. So having like that's the coolest thing about Tetris to me and Puyo Puyo is that they're puzzle fighting games.
They kind of are.
It's like you can go pro in Tetris and Puyo Puyo, you know.
right.
Yeah.
You know. That's like they need to make Like, so you know, there's like a Tetris movie being made and stuff. It's supposed to be like a trilogy. If I remember correctly, the plot synopsis is that Tetris are aliens invading Earth or something like that. Very weird.
Yeah.
But
Who
what the
knows?
movie should be is it should just be The Wizard, but with Tetris.
But why not just watch The Wizard then?
Nah, because it will be better because it's not just a Nintendo commercial, it's a Tetris commercial instead.
Exactly.
Tetris doesn't need to advertise.
Exactly. That's why it's actually soulful. It's like the Lego movie, you know. It's like
Oh,
you
that's
think you're
true.
just watching a Lego commercial, but you're actually watching a heartfelt experience.
Soul.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's a Tetris movie as a little kid. He's like trying to get good at Tetris. He enters the Tetris tournament. There's a you know, a
Do they have,
Karate Kid-esque like older kid who kicks his ass in Tetris.
do they have Tetris? Or Tetris turn? I know Tetris does have a bit of a niche esports thing, but is that? Do they have full-on Tetris tournaments?
I mean, I'm pretty sure they do, yeah.
I know
I
Puyo
know there's
does. Puyo's
Puyo
tournament
Tetris.
scene's pretty big. Puyo is like
Yeah.
in Japanese Evo.
Yeah. Wasn't like the Super Monkey Ball director like shitting on the Puyo Puyo guys or something
Was
one
he?
time?
No way.
Yeah, he
No way.
like called them like a slur in Japanese or something like
Holy
that.
shit.
Oh, jeez.
Like he
No
said
way.
like I think he called them like the Japanese equivalent of an incel.
Holy shit.
Oh.
That's incredible, actually.
Yeah.
You
Something
know,
along those lines.
the Monkey
And
Ball
that might
director's
not have
such
been
a
the
Chad,
monkey
though,
although
that
that
I
might
bet.
not have been the Monkey Ball guy, it might have been a different Sega guy,
Okay.
but I think it was the Monkey Ball guy. Who is
Who's the
also
Monkey
the
Ball guy?
Yakuza
I'm
guy.
behind him. He's a Chad.
Well, he's also the Yakuza guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He went from making Monkey Ball. You ever seen the before and after where like Monkey Ball,
Yeah.
he's like a nerdy guy with like he has like the long hair, he has like glasses, and then his current photos, he's like surrounded by women on a throne. He's like completely bald with like a goatee now.
He's wearing like leopard print jacket.
Yeah, the guy's like a complete badass now. It's awesome.
Yeah. But like the Tetris movie, it would be like a kid, and he goes to like the old man who's like, I invented Tetris, and he teaches him how to play Tetris good, and then he kicks the bully Tetris players'
Is
ass in the
Andrej,
Tetris
whatever
tournament.
his name is he even
Yeah,
alive still?
I don't know, something along those lines. It's just like, you know, he has to master the T spin in order to beat the bully in the Tetris tournament.
He's-
Just like how in like Karate Kid, he like does the kick or whatever.
It's-
He like T spins him.
yeah, but
They should totally
nah, the
make this
Tetris
a
movie's
movie. It would be good.
no, the Tetris movie's gonna suck, but it might be end up being funny. So let's just leave it at that.
They should go with my script instead. Just like it's the Karate Kid, but with Tetris instead of karate. It's perfect.
All right, but
Yeah.
do we have anything to say about effect? This is a game that I just need to play it. I'll probably ascend through a higher plane.
Bro,
Yes.
Tetris particle effects, dude.
Yeah. You know what? Let's blow through the sizzle reel as fast as they went through it.
Yeah. Well,
All
that
right,
was the plan anyway.
All right, Astroneer. I've seen this game before. It exists.
Yeah. I don't remember anything about it. There's 100 Days winemaking simulator.
This game sounds like a joke. It's probably all right, but I saw that I was like, is this a joke? It just
I
sounds
don't
like
know, maybe it's
Oh.
like Unicorn Island.
Real
where
quick,
you think it's a winemaking simulator.
okay.
What picture were we using for this?
It was just the standard Indie World picture.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna blow through these. Lightning
Yeah.
round.
Yes.
So yeah, maybe
Astroneer.
winemaking simulator will turn into like a horror game halfway through it, like
Sure.
the Unicorn Island.
I wasn't even halfway through. It was like 5 minutes in. But Slime Rancher. I love Slime Rancher. It's great.
And we're getting
this
in on the
way.
phone.
Or is it just the Switch?
I think it's just a Switch.
Just a Switch?
Yeah, I think so.
I think the portable edition just meant Switch.
Okay.
They just wanted to, it was Plortable edition because the plorts were like what the slimes dropped. They just wanted to have a pun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because slimes drop plorts.
got it. I get the reference now.
That lumberjack. Okay, what were you playing as again? I'm trying to see if I can
There's a
remember.
bear. And
Okay,
he's chopping down trees. It
he had a
looks great.
chainsaw at one part, so that's always fun.
Yeah. But did he hold
Uh,
the chainsaw backwards and then use it like an axe to chop down the tree? That's how you know it's good.
who did that before?
There was a heavy and a Gmod video that did it.
Okay. Curious Expedition 2. I've heard of Curious Expedition 1. I heard it was fun. You know, that's all
Yeah.
I've heard about it, really. But I saw you can have like a Velociraptor in your party, so that's pretty cool. So,
And you can fight
that's
the
something
giant enemy crab. Or was it a
Uh,
lobster?
why not both?
Yeah.
And last but
Gang
not
Beasts.
least, Gang Beasts.
Gang Beasts is an incredibly fun party game.
Pretty old at
Yes.
this point, but yeah, it's getting a Switch release.
I don't think it's that old. I think it was just in early access for like 100 years.
Ah, that's old.
I know.
If it's in early access for 100 years, it might as well be out at that point.
I
Right.
know.
If you're in early access for more than 3, you're probably not coming out of it. And if you do, it'll be like, well, you already released like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You know? You're
Right.
too old hat for us to care about. We've already played you to death.
But then we move on to the last and
Final section.
game of. So Eastward.
Yes.
I've had my eye on this game for years since it was first announced.
Yeah. I found out about it like 2 to 3 weeks ago. I was, exploring the internet as one does, and I just stumbled across a trailer for it. And I watched it, and I was like, damn, this is awesome. And then I put it on
It's
my
just
Steam
like-
wish list. And then
You
it
just
got
look at it and it's like,
announced
oh, this
release
is
date.
good.
Yeah, it's very much one of those games where you just look at it and it's like, that's good. That's gonna be good.
That's gonna be good.
Pretty much.
Not much for me to say about it. Like,
So-
what did you describe it as last we talked?
Oh yeah,
last...
okay, yeah. This is Mother 3 meets The Last of Us meets The Legend of Zelda.
Oh right.
Okay.
It's got
It's
the
got-
graphics of Mother 3 with the gameplay of Zelda with the story of The Last of Us.
Yeah, and the quirkiness of Mother 3 too. It looks like.
Yeah. It's got the story of The Last of Us if The Last of Us story was actually good. It's got the
Last of
plot.
Us
of
1
The
not
Last
bad.
of
You know,
Us.
I've heard The Last of Us 1's okay, but
Yeah.
that's a different topic.
I doubt it'll be as good as Eastward.
That's true.
Yeah. Does the little girl you're protecting the whole game have magic psychic powers? I don't think so. Her
You know, The
fist
Last
in
of Us
this image is
probably
really
sounded
big.
The tongue is kind of creeping me out in this image. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
No.
And the guy's nose in the top right. Is he like a flower?
What about the robot that's slowly deteriorating in the bottom right?
See, look at all these characters. I want to go explore the world and meet all these people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gee, what the hell's up with them?
Yeah. This is a very awesome final announcement for the indie world. They definitely saved the best for last.
Yeah,
They started it off really strong with Bomb Rush, and then they ended it really strong with Eastward. Especially with the release date drop finally. Since people have been waiting for this game for years. Even though I've only been waiting for it for like 3 weeks.
lucky.
And even I was like really excited to see it.
It's the kind of game where you just see like footage of it. And it's like, oh, this is gonna be like. You can
Good.
just tell, like, this has some magic.
Yeah.
It's got some pizzazz. It's got the
Got the
touch.
soul.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
The way you said soul, it reminded me the final boss in the DLC of Dark Souls 3. He literally says, it's like, give it to me, your dark soul.
He says Dark
He
Soul.
literally says that.
You know, that's the most beautiful way they could have ended Dark Souls. It
Yeah.
really was the Dark Souls all along.
Yeah.
You know, that's Dark Souls 1 was we really were the Dark Souls all along, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. Because the Dark Souls in Dark Souls 1 is the humanity.
Right.
Humans are the real Dark Souls.
Yeah.
But, speaking of Dark Souls, our next topic.
Oh, right. So are we done
Yeah.
talking about Eastward, or we have anything else to talk about before we move on?
No, it has
Dark Souls.
soul, and that's what we can say about it.
Yeah, it looks really good. I can't wait to play it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks good.
Yeah. For anyone wondering what the game actually is, it's an action adventure top-down game. It's kind of similar to Zelda with some crafting elements on top of that.
Where I assume you go eastward.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. You play as Grizzled
Die.
Dad Man. You play as video game dad who has a frying pan. Your main primary weapon is like a frying pan, and you can craft a flamethrower out of like a broken water gun.
All
Yeah.
right.
It's looking good. So yeah, we can move on, I guess.
Yep.
So now we're moving on to like more or less rumors and yeah, rumors and a couple other remasters.
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Yeah, just miscellaneous. This is a miscellaneous section. All right. First off, we're starting off with a From Software rumor game that's coming to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what the rumor is that From Software is working on a PlayStation exclusive, like a PS5 exclusive, Souls-like.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Bloodborne 2. That's also part of the rumor, is that it's not Bloodborne 2.
Oh, Bloodborne 2 is
presumably-
never happening. With Japan's studio closing, Bloodborne 2 is never
Oh yeah,
happening.
it's never happening. We'll be lucky if we see a Bloodborne remaster at all.
In fact, I'm kind of worried if they're going to be making a PlayStation exclusive with Japan studio closing, because I think Japan studio was a big reason why like Bloodborne was exclusive, because they helped with the development of stuff like that.
That's true. I'm not too worried about it. But like this rumor, I feel like is pretty likely, if only for the fact that this has happened twice before, both with Demon Souls and Bloodborne. So it happening a third time is really not that far-fetched, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And From Software usually likes to just make new IPs. They don't really like to make sequels. The only reason why Dark Souls 2 and 3 even happened at all is because they were locked into a contract where they had to. Otherwise, they couldn't make Dark Souls 1 to begin with.
Yeah.
They needed to make Dark Souls 1 in order to become successful. You know, and start turning a profit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But
Because like before Demon Souls, they made a lot of stuff, but a lot of the stuff around the time, like right before Demon Souls, were big flops. Like they
Yeah.
like, the only thing they were
Core is a
known
pretty
for,
popular series.
like Armored Core
No.
and Kingsfield were doing were niche and were like had like a niche success for the most part. But like they were doing other stuff as well that I can't even remember because it's so forgettable, that all of which flopped.
Oh, there's this. Keep talking. I'm trying to remember this one From Software name game.
It was like there was like a weird game like right before Demon Souls came out. It was like I want to say around the same time, because they were working on both projects simultaneously. It was like where you play as like a weird ninja, and it was like absolutely terrible. Like they even reused the like the armored spider demon from Demon Souls in it, or maybe that
I
was
just
where it was
I just
originally.
remembered the game I was talking about. I was thinking about Echo Nights Beyond, which is a survival horror game by From Software. You play as like an astronaut on the moon. They were making stuff like that. They may have a lot of weird low budget survival. Maybe like 3 or 4.
Isn't that new Capcom game that Capcom's making? Where
No,
you,
I
like
think
you're an Among Us with a little girl and like a robot cat. Remember that game?
unrelated.
Yeah.
I think Aquanite is actually an IP before From Software touched it, but yeah,
Yeah.
they did a bunch of low budget, like really, really niche like survival horror games on PS2, I know, and they were probably like
Yeah.
those didn't make any money.
Yeah. I just like the concept of the word astronaut in my vocabulary with being replaced with Among Us.
Man, poor NASA.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's not too much to talk about aside from that with
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not
it's just a
Bloodborne.
rumor at this
It's
point.
probably not Demon Souls 2 either.
yeah.
will probably be a new IP, and we'll know it's probably going to be a Souls-like.
I don't think it's as concrete as our other rumor that we'll be talking about in a bit.
Yeah, I think it's
It's lesser of
definitely
a rumor.
happening just because like there's a long history of something like this happening from software partners
Yeah.
with Sony all the time. Sony definitely feels like their biggest overall supporter.
I
Right.
think it's a way off with Elden Ring still being in development. I think it's a way off, so it's like
Oh,
not even like
definitely.
From
But you know,
Software is
From
making a
Software
game.
always starts their next project before they're finished with their last one. You know,
Yeah.
'cause they were working on Bloodborne before Dark Souls 2 came out. You know.
Oh yeah, well yeah, Dark Souls 2. That shows in Dark Souls 2 because Dark Souls
Yeah, and
that
that's just
that
because
game was
Miyazaki wasn't directing it. You
yeah,
know,
that game was clearly passed off to some
the
other
B
like
team.
yeah. It's very much shows. And I like Dark Souls 2, but it shows.
Yeah. I mean, like Dark Souls 2 is like it has a bucket list of issues, and like the best thing I can say about it is that it's has a shit ton of content in it. The only problem is there's like most of it's not very good.
Right.
It's like there's tons of armor and weapons, and that's awesome. There's just no good levels to use them in, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I think that's like the biggest weakness in Dark Souls 2 is like just bad level design throughout the whole game. Bad enemy placement, especially. It's like it's not even really the enemy design in that. It's just the fact that they put too many enemies too close together.
Isn't it better in the launch edition that you can't buy anymore?
Probably, I think it is. But
They made
even
it
in the
like
launch edition, it's not great.
yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure Scholar of the First Sin made it worst. Made it
Yeah,
worse.
like it makes like the one covenant like impossible to get into because they place a dragon in front of it.
Yeah, and the dragon's harder than the actual fucking boss fight. You fight
Yeah.
afterwards. It's like, why would you do that?
Who knows? But yeah, there's not much but as for the From Software, there's not much we can say. The news is From Software is making a game.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Well, since we know it's not going to be Bloodborne 2, what theme do you think they're going to go with for this one?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Because they've done the
I don't
Victorian.
think they're gonna do the medieval fantasy again with Elden Ring and
Yeah.
Dark Souls being so overdone.
They've already done Demon Souls for the
They
PlayStation
just did
exclusive.
Sekiro as well.
Yeah. So I don't think they're going to touch medieval fantasy again.
You
They
know, we don't even know, do we even
probably.
know if this is gonna be a Souls-like? I mean, this could just be like another
The
Armored Core
rumor
game.
says it's going to be a Souls like.
Okay, because I was like thinking, oh, this could just be like another Armored Core game. Who knows?
No, the rumor specifically states that it's a Souls like and that it's not Bloodborne 2.
All right.
But
I
I
mean, I
think
guess
they'll
it's
probably touch
some
on a new theme they haven't done before, if I had to guess. Which
Elden Ring 2.
No. It could be like a sci-fi setting, you know?
What other sci-fi Souls-likes are there? There's The Surge
Yeah. I
and
mean,
Jedi Fallen Order.
in theory, it could be maybe like a Metroid Fusion type situation where you're stuck on like a spaceship, like a
Mm.
like a space station, you know?
Yeah, I
And you're
could dig
trapped in
that.
like one big space station, so it kind of has like the Metroidvania layout, you
Yeah, I
know?
could dig that. I could dig that.
Something like that maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Who
yeah, I
knows?
could
Maybe
dig
it
it.
could even incorporate more ranged combat
Yeah, that'd be cool,
eventually.
actually.
I'd like to see how they approach that, actually.
Yeah.
I kind of like miss the fact that I
Ranged
couldn't use a bow or a crossbow and they weren't as powerful in like Dark Souls.
You can. It's just you have to really build around the bow. Like I
Yeah.
And you
did a
have to be
bow build in
insane.
Dark Souls 1, and while it took a little getting used to, basically how you have to approach enemy like encounters in Dark Souls 1 if you're playing with a bow is use your bow as a primary weapon and then use a sword as a secondary weapon. Where
Or you
you
could
want to
just do
start all in.
magic. And...
I mean, you could do that, but if you're looking for bows specifically, like the best part about a bow is that since they all scale dex and they have really, really great dex scaling, and since you're not going to get super close in combat, you can just pump nothing but dex, have tons of damage, and
Yeah,
then you don't have to
true.
worry about lots of things.
Right.
It's actually a way to totally cheese the game because you pump like 40 levels into dex, you then do tons of damage with your really good bow, and you can kill enemies from range, because you'll just two-shot them from out of their range, where it's like you have to approach enemies of like, okay, there's an enemy there and there's an enemy there, and I can snipe them before I ever reach their aggro range. And that's how you have to approach everything when you're using a bow, Dark Souls.
You gotta snipe them.
Because the bow has way better aiming than the magic, where you can't really aim it. You have to rely on the lock-on for the magic. With the bow, you can go in and aim.
Right, that makes
The
sense.
bow, if you hit them in the head, it counts as a crit. So you can do critical snipe damage. Yeah. It's actually funny, because, like, the one dragon boss in the DLC of Dark Souls 1, Calamite,
Yeah,
you can actually headshot him. If you shoot him directly in the eye, it will stagger him.
Fun.
Yeah, I actually pulled that off one time. It's really crazy.
Calamite's the only boss I never have beaten in Dark Souls. More out of indifference rather than him being hard. I just never got around to him.
He's pretty hard. He's like the hardest
He's just
boss
kind of
in
out of the way.
Honestly, I think he's the hardest boss in the game.
Huh. Yeah. Yeah, he might be.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Let's move on. What do we got
Souls.
next?
Okay, our next is something that's kind of complicated. Do you want, Chestnut, you'll have to explain it all, I feel like.
Okay.
Keep it simple, because it is complicated.
Yeah, this is a little convoluted, because I only heard about this when people started making a shitstorm on Twitter about it. So there was a like a demo thing coming out for the PS5 called Abandoned. Right?
Yep.
And how it was like, people thought effectively that it was like Silent Hills, or a spiritual successor to like Silent Hills.
Something Kojima was secretly working on.
Yeah, or that like Kojima was involved in the project in some way. And it's being developed by a studio called Blue Box. And they like announced like, hey, get ready, download this app on your PS5 and you can check out the real-time Abandoned experience. You'll download the app, you'll load up the PS5, you boot up the app, and what the app does, it will show you a 4-second clip of a dude walking. And that's it.
Okay,
and
so what was the
end game? It's just his legs. So it's literally just a bunch of cheap walk cycles.
Okay, so what's the end game here? Was it Bitcoin mining? Gathering hardware information to sell? Attention. Viral marketing.
Like a spam. Like, I don't think this is a real game. I don't think they have anything actually made for this.
I gotta see what. Yeah, but what was their end game then?
I don't know.
Like, is there a Kickstarter?
I don't know, but I don't trust them. It's like
I don't either.
As fuck. You know, they're definitely pulling an imposter here. They're trying to pretend to be Kojima. You know, they're the imposter.
Yeah. Kojima's not working on a Silent Hill game. He straight up said he doesn't want to after he left Konami.
Mm-hmm.
He's making Silent. He's probably doing something weird at Kojima Productions or whatever it's called that you can't predict. So don't even bother theorizing, people.
Yeah.
There's no Silent Hills. It's dead.
Yeah, there's no. It was never real to begin with. It was always just a demo, you know? It was always just a proof of concept demo. It was never gonna be a real thing.
Silent Hills was being developed when PT came out. It got canned. And it's never going...
Really, but yeah.
The full story I've seen is that its budget just got out of hand and also because of MGS5.
Yeah.
Kojima's working on it. Its budget blew crazy out of proportion with his plans, and MGS5 was also blowing crazy out of scale. They just could not afford to make the game. And that's why they got rid of Kojima.
Yeah, but as for this abandoned game, definitely not real. It's totally a scam. Blue Box Studios has a history of pulling shit like this, where they'll announce
Yeah.
a horror game, say it's in development, show some teasers for it,
Mhm.
and then like it never comes out. And then they'll announce a new horror game, show some teasers for it, be like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna come out next year." It never comes out. They've done this for
Oof.
years now. Like, I want to say dating back all the way to like 2018. So, yeah, this is like totally a scam. Nobody get your hopes up for this. This is not real.
Right.
Not a real game.
Yeah.
Uh, with that, do you want to just move on?
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like talking about it anymore.
All right. Well, next is, well, I don't even know if I'll completely call it's a rumor, but it's 90% happening.
Yeah, it
It's
seems like it's gonna happen. It's
well,
the
we know for a fact. Well, okay, yeah, it's the GTA PS2 games are reportedly being remastered. So GTA
yeah,
3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
yeah.
Yeah,
Apparently,
GTA.
apparently, we know for a fact Take Two said that they were remastering 3 games,
Mm-hmm.
and I think Polygon and IGN both have sources saying that it's the GTA games.
Makes a lot of
Wait,
sense considering that GTA 5 is what now over 10 years old, I want to say.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a PS3 game. It's been 2 console generations since the last
Yeah.
GTA game.
And GTA 6 is still a long ways away. I want to say
Yeah.
their expected release date currently, because we know they're currently working on it, is like
Isn't it late?
2025,
Yeah, I was just about to say.
something like that.
It's a
Yeah,
while from now.
If I remember correctly, the last thing I've heard about GTA 6 is that reportedly it's getting taking place in Vice City again.
huh. You know, that's actually not too weird because 5 took place in Los Santos from San Andreas again, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
But I don't want to say I started playing San Andreas 2 weeks ago randomly because it was on sale.
right.
And then they go and announce the remasters on me. Well, they didn't announce it yet, but these go
Yeah.
up and happen. But I'll say it's aged well. It's still fun. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it could probably use a bit of a visual touch up because it's a PS2
Yeah.
game.
I imagine that's what these remasters are for, but I do wonder when they say remasters, I imagine they just mean remasters where they're gonna like, get higher resolution like textures and stuff and
I
better
get to
frame rate.
play GTA Vice City in 4K.
Yeah, more or less,
Yeah.
yeah. With
It's
like
also
better
apparently coming to
textures and
Switch.
shit.
Apparently,
Yeah,
it's part
I
of the
get to
rumor.
play GTA on Switch, the old ones, the good ones. San
Yeah.
Andreas is amazing. Actually,
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think I've ever played
pretty fun.
Grand Theft Auto 3 though, so I might
Mm.
have to actually check it out.
3, Vice City, and San Andreas are all really similar. They all came out like pretty much back to back. San Andreas is probably the best one. It was the last one,
Yeah, I
mainly
imagine
because
they're
it's
all running on the same code and stuff.
yeah,
Right.
San
Which is
Andreas.
why it would be so easy to remaster all three at once because they're all
Yeah,
so
you might as well.
similar. Yeah.
I think they might touch up the gunplay a bit. The gunplay feels a bit dated. Like just it came out. It's a third-person shooter that came out before Resident Evil 4, so it
Right.
feels
Yeah.
like it doesn't have like over the shoulder or anything. It feels slightly jank.
Right.
It's GTA though, so I can't. It's good.
um, thing to say.
Yeah, the fun part of GTA 3 isn't the shooting, it's driving around in your car,
And
you know,
fuck around,
running
yeah.
people over. Yeah.
And then shooting them.
Yeah,
So in that
Yeah.
aspect, there.
which is
Yeah.
still fun.
'Cause if I remember correctly, GTA 3 features a lot of like auto aim for the shooting and stuff.
Yeah, they have auto aim, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, which is very awkward on PC. I'll be real.
It
Yeah.
takes some getting used to.
Here's something. You think they'll have all the music back?
It's Rockstar, so
They
they could
have
totally
money.
afford it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it will, unless
yeah,
they want to cheap out. But I don't
yeah,
think they will. I think they're like, this is like it's our fucking S tier property. We're gonna give it
yeah,
the works. We're not gonna cheap out on our
yeah. I hope so.
classics. our beloved classics that everyone still loves and everyone thinks is still fantastic. I don't
Yeah,
think anybody has any major negative opinions on the entire GTA franchise. I feel like most people universally agree that at least the console ones, maybe not the handheld ones, but all of the console ones are really good.
yeah. Like I said, I've been playing San Andreas. It's still really solid. It's
Yeah.
um and goofy. These games are really funny. I think
The
I
bike,
haven't,
the
from what I've seen as five, I think they've slightly lost their sense of humor. But San Andreas is really fucking funny.
Yeah.
literally the riding a bike in that game is just hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the first thing you do as soon as you get gameplay. You start riding a bicycle.
Yeah. Honestly, the only thing the GTA games are missing is a skateboard.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's some code for a skateboard in San Andreas. Watch the remaster add that. It'd be sick, actually. If the remaster add cuts content.
Yeah. Because
You
I
know, they can get
remember
away with
that's
hot
why
coffee
there's a lot
now.
of skate parks and stuff in it that
Yeah,
like you couldn't
yeah. There's a
actually
ton.
use any because there
Mhm.
was intended to be like a skateboard and just they didn't get it in because,
Yeah,
making a
which I think is
skateboarding
totally
system
coded.
is a lot of work in a game. And so when you have
Yeah.
a game as massive as GTA that already has all these different systems and mini games and stuff like that thrown in without it,
Yes. San
it's like
Andreas already had a
making
ton
a
of
whole
shit.
skating game.
San Andreas added RPG elements. They are adding
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, it's
Which
like
they never did again and never did before. It's weird at San Andreas.
yeah.
Yeah, a whole skating mini game is on top of that. Like, oh, just add the entirety of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Sure, they almost did that. I'm wondering though. Do you think this will add cut content? Do you think they could get away with like hot coffee now?
You know, I mean, I think they could because like Last of Us Part 2 has like a sex scene in it, doesn't it?
Yeah, and so does like Cyberpunk.
And
I,
like
th-
yeah, Cyberpunk has like numerous sex scenes. You can just hire a prostitute in
I
that game.
San Andreas never even had the sex scenes.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just that they were in the code. That's why it got the A rating on
Yeah.
for its re-release.
I mean, in
It's
theory, I bet they'll probably leave it in, but actually they might not. They probably won't.
I,
But I'm sure people will
it's
mod
not
it
in the
back
game. It's in
in.
the code. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why. That's why I got the A rating. It's like people could theoretically mount it back in, so
Yeah.
children could
Because isn't it more
see
or less just
really
flipping
awkward
on a
liminal
switch?
sex.
Yeah.
Yeah, people were
It's
afraid of.
Yeah, because like there's lots of games with like sex scenes in them now. It's like Last of Us 2 had a sex
Yeah,
scene in it, like Cyberpunk has sex scenes, The Witcher 3, I want to
yeah,
say
it's
has some sex
pretty
scenes.
standard now.
Uh, what's it the one called? Like I want to say Dragon Age did that too.
Yeah, Dragon Age has them.
Yeah,
Dragon Age could do them forever.
and so does fucking what's that one?
It's
Mass Effect. Mass
it,
Effect does
it
it too.
it's
Yeah.
still it's weird that I think GTA is just that it was so big. Like the public doesn't know stuff like The Witcher has sex scenes, but everyone knows about GTA. Like
Yeah,
it's like
that's true.
so I think there was just like there was an actual enough of an outcry there. I think that's probably the only reason it really got as much backlash as it did.
It's from
But
soccer moms who let their kids play GTA when I'm just sitting there thinking
yeah,
like, you're a soccer
from
mom.
Hillary Clinton. It was
You
her.
shouldn't be letting your kids play GTA in the first place. It's like you're complaining about, this shit, you know?
But no, my favorite was it was particularly Hillary Clinton, and they got a grudge against her, so they put her face in the Statue of Liberty in GTA
Oh
4.
yeah.
She
I
campaigned
forgot
against San
about that.
Andreas,
Yeah.
so they put her in GTA 4. But yeah, I'll cop these remasters if they come out.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Want to move on to our next topic?
Yeah.
Which, I don't have much to say about this next one. I did not have time to watch the full
Right.
interview, but
Well, I watched it and it was fun. Do you want to just say what it is?
yeah. So it was Harada, the director of like Tekken, had like has like a show where he just I don't know, does he just typically interview people on here? Is
Yeah,
that
I
just
think he
typically?
interviews like Japanese celebrities and mostly game developers, I want to say.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So and he brought Sakura there, and we got some weird tidbits from it.
Yeah,
Sakura, director of Smash.
Right.
it was a fun interview watching the Tekken guy and the Smash guy.
Harada is a very
Yeah.
fun.
Sakurai only drinks Coke Zero. That's all you need to know from this.
Yeah, and there's a part where Harada is asking Sakurai about like what he drinks and stuff, and Sakurai comments saying that, I don't really drink water because it makes me sick. Like he'll drink a half a cup of water and then he'll get sick. So he only drinks
Okay.
Coca-Cola Zero.
Bizarre.
Yeah, which is just
Strange.
more evidence to support that Sakurai is like an alien.
Yes,
Or
Sakurai
just
is in fact an alien.
I think that his body rejects not doing crunch. I think that's what it is. He has to drink like caffeinated drinks for working on Smash. So drinking water, like he's developed a dependency now.
Yeah, but he drinks Coke Zero, which is Coca-Cola but without the sugar.
Wait, that makes even less sense.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
Okay, he is an alien.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
It's
look at the mischievous
funny.
look he has in this picture. You can
Oh, that's funny
You know.
because Hirata specifically comments saying that Sakurai is like a very mysterious guy. There's like, and they're having a conversation about it, and Sakurai's like, "I guess you think I'm mysterious, huh?" It's like I walk into a room and the X-File theme plays. He literally says that, and then they show a clip of Sakurai walking into, the interview place, and then it like plays the X-File theme over it.
That's actually beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, Sakurai is like one of the most powerful people alive right now because he knows who the next Smash character is. He can just like that face is what it means.
Yeah.
And Harada's just hilarious. Harada's great. He has
Yeah.
his famous quote, "Don't ask me for shit."
Yeah. No, it's very funny because they very specifically bring up like a meme between the two, where Harada's like, when you search up both of us on the internet, this image comes up, and it's like one image of Sakurai where it's just like, me and the development team are working very hard to get the game done. We thank all our fans for their patience. We appreciate the sport so much. And then it's a picture of Harada with wearing a shirt. It's like, don't ask me for shit.
Oh my god, have you seen how pissed he gets every time someone asks him for a crossover character for Tekken 7? Someone asked him for like, what was their name? Someone Montana they asked. Some character with the last name Montana they asked for, so he
Hannah
threatened to add
Montana?
No, then he threatened to add Hannah Montana instead. He said that because of you, that will be the next Tekken character. I hope you're happy.
That's great.
Harada's a blessing.
Ugh. Yeah. And like they were also talking about like the one meme image where it's like, the image with Sakurai with the text at the bottom is like, don't ask me for anything ever again.
Uh-huh.
Which I'm actually not 100% sure if Sakurai ever said that or not. Because I think he said that rhetorically, but it might also be a 100% fake image.
No, I think he said something like that jokingly in a direct.
Yeah, because I remember that moment because it's right after he shows Zero Suit Samus in Smash 4. So I remember that direct because he like shows off Zero Suit Samus, is like, don't ask me for anything ever again. But he says that like as a joke, I want to say.
Yeah.
But
But
then
I
in
think
the
he was also
Harada,
serious.
well, in the Harada interview, he said, "Oh, I never said that."
You know
Oh.
what? He forgot.
Yeah.
You know what?
I don't know
It's been
if
years.
it was like a fake image at this point, or if it was like something he said as a joke that like, oh,
You know what? He might have said it and he completely forgot. Who knows?
I think he could have because I honestly I want to say he did.
How many interviews with this directs has he done at this point?
Like a lot. I think he said that as like a joke. Like he didn't mean it at all. It was very obviously sarcastic. And people like spread it around sarcastically, where it's just like Sakurai will give us something that we've been asking for like years, and then it's like, don't ask me for anything ever again, because that's the joke. That's where the joke is. It's like, oh, he gave us Ridley. It's like, okay, don't ask me for anything else. It's like, how hard that was. You know, he gave us Steve. It's just like, stop asking me for this shit.
I know.
Because I'll say that stuff. It's just like, because like I remember in the Steve presentation where it was like one of his like his bosses that came to him and was just like looks over him and is just like, you can surely you can put Steve from Minecraft in Super Smash Brothers. And I remember him very like saying it's like yeah that it's like they think this is like some magic I do.
Or Sakurai.
Yeah.
Gets just go add whoever the hell you're
I,
adding
I
next.
remember like with like the Harada's bar interview, like right after that, he was talking about the memes and stuff, and it's like I don't really like that. It's like people shouldn't be putting like my face to words that I didn't actually say.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
You know, I really hope the last Smash character is a giant middle finger and then he rides off into the sunset. I don't know what character he could pull for that, but that's what I hope. That's the happy ending.
you know, it's something. It'll be like a Kirby character, but it's got to be a Kirby character he actually made. You know,
Yeah.
Right.
we can't actually
It'd be
get Banana Waddle-Dee.
Kracko.
That would be good, too
It'd
good.
be
You know,
Kracko. That's it. Oh, the cloud that shoots lightning.
yeah. No, it'll be the airship boss fight from Kirby One.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, no. What if we get another Fire Emblem character?
What
That
if
would
we
be
get
beautiful.
Goomba?
Yes. One of the first enemy in a Nintendo, like in a, the most famous enemy in a video game is the Goomba.
Yeah.
He deserves it. Pong Paddle will get the first video game character.
Yeah. Well, that was an assist trophy, and
Oh, no, that was
yeah,
Keller TV 15. He's not Pong.
yeah,
He didn't get the
that was
license.
Nintendo's off-brand Pong. Because Color Game TV game was something that Nintendo made. They just were
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
stealing it from Pong.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
just a
really
Pong
funny.
console.
Yeah. Trying to remember what other stuff they said in the interview, but I want to say, but towards the end, keep in mind this was only part one of the interview. They haven't released part two yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was only about 27 minutes. I think they did have like an interview, like 40 minutes, something like
There is
that.
a part two, but they haven't released it yet.
Right.
Um, and so like towards the end, they were celebrating Sakurai's birthday because it was coming up in a few days at the time of the recording
Okay.
of the interview. And at this point, it's already passed. But they brought him out a cake. You know, I want to say this is a very common style of cake, like birthday cake in Japan, I want to say. But it
Okay.
looked exactly like that one cake from that one Mario Party minigame. We
Ah.
have to make the cake, you know?
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's got like strawberry and stuff on it.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's just a really common cake design in Japan.
Yeah. There,
So they like,
it's like that everywhere. There's like a specific like general cake.
yeah, for like different regions and stuff will have different cakes and whatnot,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. And they brought him out one of those and they sang happy birthday to him.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a fun little interview.
Yeah.
All
But
right. We want to
wanna
move on.
to our
Oh wait, no, there
final
was
topic.
one final thing I
Okay.
just remembered because they also talked about a different interview that both Sakurai and Harada was on. I want to say for it was some magazine. I want to say it was a Japanese magazine
Okay.
where they were talking
Yeah.
about tons of different game directors, right? And they were like doubled up and stuff. There was like I want to say there was one with like Sakurai and Nomura,
Okay.
and there was one with Harada and a different guy. But it was really funny because they were talking about the promotional images they used for both ones. Where for Sakurai and Nomura, they had him like sitting on like a long bench in like nice suits and stuff like that.
Okay.
um, with well with like really nice graphic design and everything. And then for Harada and the other guy, I forgot who it was, but they had him with like the Smash 4 like template with just them in like casual clothing standing next to each other, like doing like a goofy pose.
That's awesome.
And so Harada was like, you know, this kind of made me mad. Like, look at how they portrayed, like the difference between us portrayed, and Sakurai comments is like, "Oh, I've seen that graphic before." Uh, that was funny. Yeah, if you haven't seen the interview, yeah, I definitely recommend watching it because it was really fun. Yeah. So yeah, let's move on to the final topic now.
All right.
Yes.
And that is, what was it?
It was Knuckles in the Sonic 2 movie.
Oh
They
yes,
announced
Casting
the
has been announced.
voice actor.
They got
Ricola. Check out the picture we got for this.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
It is
Um,
top quality.
That's because I pulled it
it's
from a
just
different website because I couldn't find anything that wasn't from
well,
Media.
so freaking Idris Elba of all people is playing Knuckles. So we have black British Knuckles.
Yes.
Pretty cool.
You know, I'm glad they finally got a black guy to play Knuckles. That's
Yeah.
great because he- Knuckles has always been black. It's always
Pretty
been
much.
dreads. Come on.
He was always like
But
black coated. You know, I totally
um,
agree. For me personally, I never
why Idris
really
Elba? I don't
minded.
understand. Of
Well,
all people.
I mean, personally, I never really minded any of Knuckles' previous voice actors, of course, for the most part. I think they all did a good enough job, you
You're
know?
cutting off for me. One moment.
No, he sounded alright for me.
Yeah, it was probably just a weird connection issue for Ricola. But basically, yeah, I never had any problems with Knuckles' previous voice actors. I always felt they've done a good enough job, you know? Uh,
Right.
mhm. But I think this was good casting, I'd say. Because he is the guy from the chicken wing meme, right? Where he ate the really hot wing and was like, oh, and then he dies or whatever.
I think so. I think I know
Yeah,
what you're talking about.
yeah. I can't hear Ricola though.
Wait. Oh, my Discord straight up crashed. I'm
Oh,
Oh, okay.
back. That was weird.
Are you back now?
Okay, what?
I was just saying, like, I thought the previous Knuckles voice actors were all fine for the most part. You know,
Oh,
they all did a
yeah, I
good
like all the
enough
Knuckles
job. You know?
performances. I agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
and I think this is a good casting
I,
overall
I
for the
hope they
movie.
make him say some of the funny stuff Adventure 2 Knuckles says, like, "Roar," you know, those noises.
Yeah, the real question is Rouge the Bat gonna be in Sonic 2?
No. No.
Yeah, that's gonna be for the Sonic 3
Okay.
movie.
The ending tease will. Okay. So I'm half expecting Metal Sonic to show up in this movie, actually, just as
I
like a
could
villain. That's probably gonna.
100% see that. Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the Eggman's gonna be back. Well, so Robot. They don't have to
Yeah.
call him Eggman, do they?
Honestly,
He's
I'm
gonna be back. He's
expecting
gonna
to
be Metal
see
Sonic.
the Death Egg robot, and I'm expecting to see Metal Sonic. And we'll
Yeah,
probably
and then
see the Chaos Emeralds.
yeah. Well, if we don't see Super Sonic, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
But and then after credits, I don't know. They could fucking show Amy or something because they showed Tails last time. Just keep expanding the Sonic universe.
Yeah.
yes.
Well, wouldn't it be really crazy if Sonic 3 it uses like Adventure 2's plot?
That would be too cool for them to actually do. That would
Yeah.
be so
Like
cool.
imagine if it jumps to the Adventure 2 plot and it's just a retelling of like Sonic Adventure 2, you know, where it's Jim Carrey playing Eggman in Sonic Adventure 2.
That would just be so cool. I want it. I
Yeah.
want Shadow being like Faker. You're the
Yeah,
real
like
Faker around
imagine
here
Jim
on
Carrey and
IMAX.
Shadow just walking around trying to blowing up the moon.
Oh man,
Imagine
I
Jim
can
Carrey
dream.
pissing on the moon.
I can dream. That's not my dream film. The Sonic Adventure 2 film adaptation.
Yeah.
Because
Or maybe it'll
I
just
like the
Adventure
Sonic
1's
movie.
plot.
You know, they could.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
think Adventure
I wouldn't be
1
too
that's a bit too
surprised.
convoluted.
Nah, I don't think it's that convoluted. I could honestly, I could see them doing Adventure One's plot for this movie.
Hmm.
It really
You know,
depends.
actually, they did tease the echidnas in the first movie a lot.
Yeah,
So
They did. I mean, we could
Yeah.
also just see a basic retelling of Sonic Adventure, like, well, not Sonic Adventure, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You know.
Oh yeah, where like Eggman gets cast emeralds and Knuckles shows up and he's like, ah,
Yeah, like
get back to emeralds.
where Eggman tricks Knuckles and stuff. Because
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
because the mushroom planet that Eggman got launched to at the end of the first Sonic movie, you know, it's very
Oh yeah,
similar
this
to the first stage in Sonic and Knuckles, the mushroom forest,
yeah,
mushroom
Mushroom
jungle.
Hill Zone, I think.
I don't think
Yeah.
it's Mushroom Hill Zone. I think it's like Mushroom Jungle something.
I swear it's Mushroom Hill Zone. You know, I gotta double check myself.
I know it's the first stage in Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, it is Mushroom Hill Zone. I was right.
Okay. It's always some kind of hill.
Yeah, it's always a hill.
That's because running downhill in Sonic is fun.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
That's why City Escape is such a good level because it's all downhill.
yeah, just like real San Francisco.
Yeah.
Have either of you seen a Sonic movie? I've seen it.
Yeah. And like remember this first Sonic movie, there was a whole plot about like going to San Francisco and shit, right?
Yeah,
That was
I
the
really
entire
appreciate
plot is
that.
like going to San Francisco.
I
And then
was
at
like,
the
oh,
end they decide, let's
nice
not
Sonic movie.
move to San Francisco. Let's just stay in Green Hills.
You know, I appreciate the San Francisco. That was a really nice Sonic too. That put a smile on my face as soon as I saw that in the Sonic movie. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Adventure 2 nod. Um,
It's not Sonic if he's not in San Francisco.
Right.
it's true. It is the most radical city.
Radical, dude.
Lucas, go watch the Sonic movie.
I need
I don't
to.
care that it's a children's film. It's genuinely really fun.
It was pretty decent.
You know, actually, who do you think they're gonna cast as Tails? Because in the after credits scene, they just got Tails as regular voice actress.
Right.
So, you think they'll just get a celebrity, or do you think she'll be allowed to keep voicing Tails?
I don't know.
Potentially, but I wouldn't be too surprised if they got like, you know, like a high profile celebrity to voice Tails.
Yeah, makes me feel bad. Feels bad actually. I
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Tails' voice a
Tails'
lot.
current voice actor is really good. Like, she's really good.
Yeah,
Um, which is not something I could say for a lot of Tails' previous voice actors. But to be fair, I think
Taz
a
has
lot
been
of those were literal
rocky.
children, and that's probably why.
Yes, Sonic Heroes Tails is voiced by an actual like 7 or 8 year old.
Yeah,
Not as bad
but
as Charmy B, who is voiced by like a 6 year old in Sonic Heroes. You know,
yeah,
kudos to them for being that good.
yeah. Honestly, I think Charmy was actually pretty decent in Heroes. He was one of the better ones.
Yeah, that's a general child, I believe, as well.
Yeah, yeah,
um, I think half the voice actors in Sonic Heroes are related. Like they were just like a family that did them all.
that makes
Like
sense.
almost half the characters. Um, you know, I think Tails' issue is just a direct thing. They didn't know what they wanted to do with him for until
Yeah,
like modern era. Like he's like a kind of a little kid in the Saturday AM show and like stuff like an Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Then like the
yeah.
adventure games, he's like
Adventure
kind of
One,
weird.
Sonic like Tails has a really great character arc though.
Oh yeah, I love Tails. He's great. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's like Tails has like the most going like really the most going on out of all the characters. Like it's like him and Gamma for Adventure One have like the most shit going on with
Adventure
their
One is
actual
a
character.
genuinely great game. Everyone's a coward.
It's it's flawed but charming.
Yes.
How old
Yeah,
is that
it's
game?
definitely got a lot of good elements.
1998.
Oh
Yeah, come on,
wow.
Mandy.
Um, you know, I think it's ambitious as hell, and I don't think any other Sonic game has tried to be that ambitious, especially in the
It is
writing
very
department.
ambitious. Yeah.
Especially in the writing department. Like I think too many of the Sonic games play themselves safe.
I don't know, I
Like,
think Adventure 2 is even more ambitious than Adventure 1.
yeah,
The plot
no,
it's
I think
tackling is like way crazier
yeah, Adventure
than
2 is
Adventure 1.
darker.
Yeah.
Adventure 1 though I think has like the bajillion different perspectives and it's like non-linear.
Yeah.
Like Adventure 2 is just the good and bad guys. That's it. When Adventure 1 has like 6 characters constantly bouncing between, and like you got like the weird world building with like the lore with like chaos, and it's like it's all over the place. Try to do so much
A
stuff.
bit, but I feel like most of the characters are either doing their own thing or are like actively helping Sonic.
Yeah, I suppose. You know, but as for the other characters, and then Knuckles, I think Knuckles is a bit. We were saying Tails is really good characters. I think Knuckles is a bit more inconsistent.
Yeah,
Like
Tails
he's
is yeah, Knuckles is way more consistent overall.
not as inconsistent as Amy, though. They have no clue what the hell to do with her lately. I'm
Yeah.
sure Ian Flynn. Ian Flynn knows exactly what to do with all these characters, but they won't hire him to write a Sonic game. Like, have you read the IDW Sonic comics? They're so good. Like, they just totally get. Oh, this is how you write Sonic.
Yeah. Oh, I
It's
wonder
like
if Knuckles is gonna have his famous line from Forces in the movie. It's like,
that's why it's called War. None of
none
this
of
is
this
good.
is good. This is why that's why it's called war.
No, he will say "Oh no" though, because that's a meme. They'll work in the
Yeah,
meme.
yeah.
Yo, can you imagine? They're gonna work in a Ugandan Knuckles meme. Just you wait. Just you
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
because this is a Sony
They're
film.
so going to have that where Knuckles will
This is
say,
a
it's like,
Sony film.
well, he's gonna ask a character if they know the way. It's like, do you know the way? He's
Fuck.
going to
Do you
say
know
that
the
line.
way?
Fuck.
Yeah, he's
I
they're
apologize for my language,
100%.
but there was no other reaction to that because, like, I just the entire scene just like you just blasted it into my brain.
Yeah, I know.
Just like,
It's going to
oh,
happen.
that just hurt to because, like, oh, I know it's happening. I apologize. Excuse my
That's
French
a
a second
common
ago
enough.
because
Yeah, that's a common enough phrase that they can totally just get away with it.
and the entire audience will groan.
Yeah,
I
but
gotta
is
see
it
the
gonna be
theaters.
as bad as Sonic flossing in that one
No,
scene?
because Sonic Flossing was totally in character.
That's true.
I think Sonic Fortnite dancing is totally something Sonic would do.
When are we gonna get Sonic in Fortnite?
Um, that no, because he'd have to have human proportions then, and we don't want that. No, wait, we just got him in 2 Point Hospital with human proportions. Never mind.
Yeah, it could
Yes,
just be like a mascot Sonic. It'll be really stupid.
exactly.
It'll be
If it weren't
Fortnite Jones in a Sonic suit.
Jonesy,
Jonesy,
get it
yeah.
right. Epic gonna sue us now for not
Yeah.
respecting your IP.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Well,
if they
speaking of
weren't cowards, oh, but yeah,
yeah, speaking of you know, video game movies, when are we gonna get the Among Us movie?
we have it. It's called The Thing. It came out like 30 years ago.
Okay, yeah, but like it's gonna be like Clue mixed with the Thing with the Among Us
Okay,
IP. You know,
sure.
will be like it's like a murder mystery comedy like Clue, but with
Yes.
like the Thing, but the Among Us IP.
Yeah. Someone will say sus. Someone will call someone a sussy baka. Like they'll have like an Asian character saying that. It'll be
Yeah.
awful. It'll be the worst thing ever.
Yeah, but okay, in the Among Us movie, which of the Among Uses are gonna be the imposter? Which color is gonna be?
You
It's obviously
know,
red.
yeah, I think it'll be no red would be a bit too obvious. I think they might go blue.
Yeah.
It's got to be a primary color.
Brown is gonna die first.
Oh, they gotta. Oh no.
No.
That joke is that joke too old now? Is that joke overdone?
Maybe.
The black guy dies first.
Yeah.
Funny thing about that cliche is I think the joke is more common than the cliche itself.
I think it is. Like people referring to the cliche as a joke is more common than the cliche itself. I mean, the
Yeah,
cliche is definitely like
it
exists because of
exists.
racism, you know. you know.
But yeah. Ooh, ooh. Will Pink Among Us be a flamboyantly gay guy or a girl?
Probably a
Uh,
girl.
yeah.
How terrible is this film gonna
The
be? The Among Us.
flamboyantly gay guy's gonna be the teal one.
You're right.
You're right.
You're right.
No, the teal one is going to be literally Distinguished Toast.
What?
Yeah, you know
Who?
Toast, right? The
The
YouTuber,
yeah, the YouTuber, yeah.
Among Us YouTuber. Yeah, it's literally gonna be him.
He does always use teal.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Sure.
Yeah, it's
I'll
gonna
have a
be like
terrible YouTuber
Minecraft Story
cameo.
Mode, where it featured actual Minecraft YouTubers.
Oh, that was so messed up. That was so weird. Don't remind
That was
me.
weird too, because that was like during a murder mystery plot as well, where actual YouTubers were just getting murdered off on
That's awesome,
screen.
actually. Okay, you know what? You just changed my mind. If that's actually what it's about, I'm gonna have to play that.
Yeah, Captain Sparkles shows up in it and then gets like murdered.
Well, all right. Anything else you guys want to say on
Nope. The Sonic movie is the most hyped movie. The Sonic 2.
Okay, but what about
And
the Mario movie that comes out
no,
next year?
no, the Mario movie is gonna be too safe. This cast Idris Elba.
Nah, man. Mario's gonna wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. You guys seen that green text copy pasta, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, let's just wrap things up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that looks like this concludes our 20. This is our 20th podcast.
Nita.
Wow.
Cool.
2020. This is the end of the 20th podcast. Thank you everybody for watching. I think we actually peaked at 5 viewers at one point.
I
So
think we hit 6.
at 6. All right. So if anybody was new, thanks for stopping by. Make sure to check us out on YouTube. Obviously here at Twitch. We also have a Twitter. Yeah. I'll also make sure to go check out our TikTok. It's very simple, but you know, any kind of notoriety is better than none. But
Yeah.
thank you guys for watching. Anything else you guys want to say? All right.
Make more good video game movies, you cowards.
All right. Everyone
Silent
have.
Hill movie is fun.
Yes, it is.
But good night.
Yes, have a good night, everyone.